Alright, here we go. Is there better quality? Is it buffering? I think it's working. Alright. This is a little strange without music or anything. Where's the chat? Alright, I think this stream will actually work. I don't see any buffering. Now we just wait. I think I like scared the viewers away from my failures yesterday. Let me go get some stuff. Change this setup here. Is this gonna work? Hey. Alright, let's see if this actually works. So confusing. Why is this so confusing? It's public. Hey, I had this thing on like unlisted for a second and I was like, where is everybody? Is this because I messed up yesterday? So glad to see some people showing up. Hey, what's up? I'll wait for, I guess I'm not going to wait for a ton of people because I don't know how many people actually show up to this, but for the most part, we're just going to try and get through some of these Anthurium seedling bins, and I'll just show you like how I prep some of these berries. You know, I got a bunch of them. I got all in different stages too, so I can show you a few different things if that makes any sense, and I guess we'll go from there, but I'll let a few more people maybe show up before we start. Yesterday I really screwed up, and I should take the video down because it's like there's like a 3-second stream video where it popped on and then I realized it popped on and I turned it off because Um, I don't know if any of you guys have streamed. I know probably some of you have, but I've never done it before through this whole like YouTube interface. And like when it first like walks you through setting up, it's like, don't worry, it won't go live until it lets you know. But that's if you like do it through just like the webcam. But if you use like OSB Studio, as soon as you hit start streaming, it just goes live without warning. So that's why that one like popped up at first, and I was just like, hey, what's up? And then I like closed it right away because I wasn't quite ready to stream. And then the streams later were kind of like when my internet like stopped working. So then it was a failure. But I think it's working and the internet seems to be holding up, and I think the quality is okay. I don't know. I mean, is the volume okay? Is the quality good? Hard to say. Also, there's quite a delay here. Can I like speed this up? Let's see. I don't know how to change that, but whatever. It's fine. All right, good. Glad to know that the quality is good. Because, yeah, yesterday it was like buffering. It was just horrible. I think it was probably like 240p or something. It was just bad. But anyways, that's yesterday. Today is a new day. So I don't really know how to run a live stream either. So give me a little bit of a break, I guess, because this is a new format for me. Usually I can record and edit and it's a lot easier. But yeah, I guess I'll just do some like plant chores. I can try and answer any questions and just talk about whatever you want, you know? So yeah, first I want to make some room in this thing. We're going to process some seeds, some Anthurium seeds, and I've already got, this is a bin that was actually in one of my recent videos of all my Anthuriums. Honestly, I forget what these are called because I know it's not this, so, and I know it's not this either, so I can't remember what they are. I do know they're like very like finger-like Anthuriums, like they almost look like a hand, honestly. Oh, you can't see my hand. They look kind of like a hand, honestly. They're weird looking Anthuriums, but I had a bunch of seeds and I tried to start them in here, and they didn't do so hot. I think it may have dried out in this area, so I'm not sure. Let's see what else we got going here. Oh, nice. Watching from the road. Oh, nice. Going to Grandma's house for Thanksgiving. That's always the best. And what's up, everybody who just joined up? And happy early Thanksgiving, guys. If I forget to say it later in the stream, I hope you all have a good Thanksgiving or whatever holidays you celebrate. And hopefully that's good. You get to eat a lot of food and see family and whatever you do, or Friendsgiving, whatever floats your boat. But yeah, so just cleaning this up. You can maybe see, like, I don't know if I want to save this seed here. How do all the like the beauty streamers do it like that? See, if you watch those makeup tutorials, you can learn a thing or two. Anyways, so this seed, I don't know if I want to save it. It definitely sprouted. Maybe I will. Maybe I'll set them to the side because there's some that are like really far behind. I mean, they're doing something, but I mean, they're nothing like this seedling is doing pretty well. Yeah, I think you're actually right. Everything Plants. By the way, Everything Plants has a really awesome YouTube channel. If you guys want to check it out, you probably should. It's pretty awesome. Let me look this one up quick. Hold on. I gotta hit the enter key. I don't. Yeah, I think it is that maybe. It looks quite similar, but I want to say it might be. If the seeds are like really big and orange, then that's what it is. Because that's what I had. I forgot what it was. Let me pull back the chat. I just lost it. Yeah, juicy roots first. Yeah, honestly, perlite has been working pretty well. I'll talk a little bit more about what I've learned too, because I haven't done many videos on Anthurium seedlings or seeds, but I've been growing a bunch for like a year now. I have a good friend who I trade like live plants for seeds. You know, I like rare propagations of mine, or whatever you want to call rare. I trade those usually, and then they just give me a bunch of seeds because they don't really like to grow them, because it can be a hassle. It takes up space, and if you don't want to expand your collection, it's like, what do you do with them? You know. So I've been getting a lot of Anthurium seeds for probably the past year. So I've been growing a lot, and I'll try and talk about some things I've learned and some things I have failed at or like excelled at. But yeah, we can just start kind of processing this for now because I want to make some room for some of my other seeds I'm going to pot in here because I'm going to kind of put multiple seedlings in here. I'm not going to keep it like species specific just because, one, you can usually tell as they grow up which is which. I don't have anything that's so similar that I wouldn't be able to tell. And I'm honestly running out of space and perlite. Like, I don't know if you'll be able to see this. Well, this is like a really large perlite bag, but I've used like almost all of it. So I only have like this little bit left. So I really like perlite. And like lately, my main like potting mix is like perlite and peat moss. It's the cheapest stuff I can come up with, because you can get a bag of perlite like that for maybe $20, and peat moss is probably like $8, maybe $10 for like a huge bale of it. So you can make up a lot of potting mix with that, and I think it's pretty versatile for how simple it is. You do have to kind of feed differently with it. I think I'm still learning because I shook the camera. I just started using that, so. I can't recommend it yet because I've only been using it for a few months, but it seems to be working with almost everything. And the only difference is if you're like Anthurium or plant or whatever you're trying to grow in it, if it needs more water and more wet, just more peat moss. If it needs to dry even quicker, more perlite. It's like really simple. Those are like the only two levers that you have to change depending on what you're potting up, and it seems to be working. Have I tried tree fern fiber? I have not. It's very expensive from what I've found. Like, you can get a pretty small bag for like $30, and it's fine. I think if you have like a really nice collection, I think, and it's like on display, and you want them to look fabulous, I think it's worth spending the money on like potting mixes. But I've just got a basement full of plants. You know, like no one really sees them. Only I see them, and like because I have so many, it's hard for me to afford that much. Like the tree fern stuff is pretty expensive, at least where I live. Hard to find. But then again, sphagnum moss is like super expensive now too. I mean, you could get a big, like, I don't know, what was it, like a 5 pound, not 5 pounds, but a big bale of it for $25, and now it's like $60, so it's pretty crazy. Yeah, I haven't seen my sphagnum moss, so this is to Stephen P. I haven't seen sphagnum moss really mold in my setups. It does get a lot of algae or however you pronounce it, but I see that they perform pretty similar. Perlite and sphagnum moss, for me, I have pretty decent results with both. I have more trust in sphagnum moss than I do with perlite because I can like tell when it dries out. Like if you look at this bin here, this whole patch that isn't doing well, let me see if I can. Oh, it's backwards. I have it flipped. So there's like stuff all around, right? Uh-oh. Do you guys see those green bars? That can't be good. Don't tell me we have problems here. Oh my God. What is going on here? Anybody know what these like skipping frames are? Is the CPU getting too hot or something? Ay. You can't just have a normal stream here. What's going on? I shook the camera and that's all over. Give me 1 second. Alright, I just unplugged and replugged it back in. I don't know if that's gonna like do what I think it's gonna do, but why can't I just have something go smooth? How do I restart this? Properties. Okay. Give me 1 second here. There's gotta be a way to like, let's deactivate, activate. Why? I can't believe this. Is it working? Nope. Jeez. Oh my God. Why am I just plagued with these issues? Wait a second. It's there. But the resolution is like extremely cropped in. I mean, we can make this work. right? Well, I think we're just going to have to go with what we got going on here. I don't know how to fix this at this point. If I restart the software, won't it restart the whole stream though? Yeah, I mean, this is okay. If this is super annoying, I guess let me know. I'll try and fix it, but let's just get the stream going a little bit. Let's get some things done, and maybe we'll change it in the future. My main goal with streaming here is these first few streams are going to be really rough, I think. As I get it figured out, I'll invest some money into it. I'll get there's a few like devices that really help with this and make it like more legitimate. I can use my actual cameras. Right now I'm using just like some webcams I have had on like hand, so it's nothing like really nice. That's why the video quality is pretty poor in my opinion compared to like what I usually have. So hey everybody else who joined the chat recently, what's up? But yeah, so if these streams go well and people enjoy them, and for whatever reason we're having a good time, then I'll invest a little bit and get something going. But have you ever grown a Christmas cactus from seed? No, I've never grown I have a Christmas or maybe it's an Easter cactus or a Thanksgiving cactus, I'm not sure. But congrats to Chandler. Sorry, my chat's really far away. Congrats on that Anthurium regale, I don't know how to pronounce it, but that's what on my list too. It's a nice, like, similar to Magnificum a little bit. I would like to try and cross them and stuff, you know. Thanks for all the kind words, guys. But yeah, anyways, what was I even talking about? I think like perlite and whatnot. We'll get back to that now that we're not going in the matrix here. The problem I had with perlite, and you can see this like bald patch. I mean, there's nothing here other than algae. Is it dried out actually? Like the outer edges stayed pretty wet, I think, because of the way. I can almost raise this up a bit here. Let me see if I can do this. Let's make it get even worse. How can we screw up the stream anymore? All right, hold on. I don't have like a legitimate tripod here, so. Hold on. I will get this. I got some. I wish you could see this. You know, I'm using my computer chair. It's upside down, but I'm like setting things on my computer chair to like make this work. It is just not the coolest setup in the world here, but good thing I'm wearing pants. All right, how are we doing here now? I didn't break anything. This cord's back here. Okay. I don't even know if that's any better, but you know what? We can only, it's a little wider, I think, right? A little bit. Anyways, that's backwards. You can see the edges are very grown out, right? Like all along the edge. Plants, right? I think the condensation from the lid and the sides kept the sides like really wet, but the center bald patch never got anything. So I don't like perlite because I can't tell visually if it's like wet or not as easy. Sphagnum moss I seem to be able to tell, so I like it. I trust it a little more with stuff, but again, with the prices of sphagnum moss, it would cost like $20 to fill this bin, where this perlite was like $1. It's just so much cheaper. So that's why I like that. But anyways, we need to get back to task, and I can answer questions while I actually do something here. But I'm just picking out the seedlings that didn't quite make it for any of those who just joined to make room for some new seedlings of different species. So, and I have some that are starting to make it, like this little dude here. But I'll put him to the side, but some of them are clearly just like rotted out. So we're going to clean this out a bit and go from there. And maybe even move some of these seedlings so we can kind of see the seedling health here. So they got some pretty juicy roots. I think they've been in here for, I want to say, probably 4 months now, maybe 4 months. For the most part, they're doing okay. They're not getting super yellow. At least certain ones aren't. Let me see if I got any of these questions here. Yeah, Dana, Pothos, or honestly, or Pothos, however you want to pronounce it. Those are one of my favorite plants too. I have a bunch back there actually in my grow room, and they pump out like beautiful leaves. I think one of them is like, I don't know, not snow something, or maybe marble queen. I don't know. It's a very white one with speckles on it. It's really pretty. I really love it. And they're just all of them. There's so many varieties of pothos. You can never go wrong with pothos. What type 2? Make your own hybrids. 2 types. hybrids. Let me make sure I don't skip anybody else's questions here because they're just coming in really quick here. I don't know what I was saying with the whole pro-life thing, but yeah, we're never going to go there on this type of stream. POV, subscribe. Oh my gosh. Happy Thanksgiving to you, James. Josh's Frogs has some nice sphagnum locks that last forever. Yeah, how much are they though? Because I can dig one out. I have like a reserve one that I keep for like really special occasions. Hold on. Oh, yes, we're spilling things over. So this is like my last like good bale of sphagnum moss here, and this was probably like $25, and now they're like 50 or 60. So it's crazy. I'm like keeping it. What else we got here? Yeah, I've actually done a lot of mixing, and some of my main prop bins I mix perlite and sphagnum all the time. Or I used to, because it works really good. I like that, and I even like putting leca on the bottom. Just seems to be like a pretty good like concoction or whatever you want to call it. All right, so now finally to John Biggles about what 2 hybrids would I like to make. Honestly, I really love strap leaf plants. So like Vidarifolium. I can never pronounce these things. What are some of the other like more famous ones? I don't know the names. If you look up strap leaf anthuriums, they're the ones with the really, I mean, they're long, thin leaves. I like the way they look. I would love to get one that's not just green. You know, like they're all just long and green. It would be cool to get some sort of pattern on there. Even if you could get some like almost like magnificum striping, I think that would be pretty sick. There is actually a really cool, I think Wenderlingi or something like Wenderlingii or Wenderlingi. I think it's another one, but there's someone who made a cross, and it's called like Anthurium something chainsaw. I think if you look up Anthurium chainsaw, you might be able to find it. But that typical, like, I think it's Wenderlingii. I don't know the name of it again because I don't have one. But the spadix spirals almost looks like a pigtail. Really cool. But the chainsaw one, that crossed it with something with like a red flower, and it's bright red and orange, and it's really beautiful because it contrasts against that green, those long green leaves, and it's got that really long, awesome like pigtail spiral. So cool. I really want one of those, but I don't think there's very many, and they're pretty expensive. So I don't foresee myself getting one anytime soon, but we'll see. Maybe one day I can trade for one. But I think I would like to do some sort of hybrid with like a strap leaf thing, or I've always mentioned how much I love Anthurium gracile. They're super cheap. I think you can get them for like $10, $15. Honestly, people probably give them away for free because they're like, they flower within like a few months of like being born, like, or from seed. Like they can germinate and flower so fast. So they can be mass produced, but I would love to cross that with something, but they self-pollinate, so it's pretty hard. And I don't know if they're compatible with anything. I've seen some charts, like, if you guys use Facebook, I know a lot of people don't like Facebook. I honestly don't like it either, but there are some pretty good groups on Facebook for anthuriums, and there's like the Anthurium enthusiast board or whatever. There's some really smart guys in there, guys and girls, just smart people, and they know a lot, and they usually post a lot of scientific stuff, and you can really learn a lot in those groups. I mean, other plant groups like the buy, sell, trade stuff, a lot of that stuff just has a lot of drama in it, so it's like not worth it. But the actual enthusiast ones with no selling, and usually just more serious people, there's a boatload of information in there. So anyways, in there is where I think I learned that like gracile are kind of stuck in their own little like genetic corridor that they probably can't be hybridized, so that's sad. Anyways, so that would be like my hybridization dreams. Let's see what else we got here. Oh, I might be like, oh no, we're good. Do you have an Anthurium Warqueem? No, I don't. I wish I did. I really actually want one of those, but I've heard they don't ship very well, and like usually they're still pretty pricey to like die, you know. If I get it and it dies, I'll be a little salty because I don't want. I don't spend that much on plants anymore, but usually when you do like an Equigenera import, you end up spending like $100-$200 easily, just because it's like, well, if I'm going to pay the shipping, I might as well load up. But usually that plant's like $80 or more, so I usually skip on it. But one day I'll get one. I also don't know if I could actually raise it well. A lot of people say it needs a lot of humidity, so I'm starting to get to a point where I really only want to buy plants that I think will do well in my setup. You know, I don't have a super humid setup. I mean, you can see behind me, you know, I have like this plastic, so this big door can close. You can't quite see it, but this is a door, and I can close off that room. However, it's still a part of my house. Like, if I brought it to like 80% humidity, I don't want to like bring like black mold problems or like house problems because of my plants. Like right now, it maxes out at like 60% humidity, and I feel okay with that because the traditional house, according to the internet, should be 50% humidity. So I'm not like super high. So I haven't seen molds form, but I would like, it would suck if I like ruined my house for some plants, you know. So I haven't tried War Cream. I can't pronounce it. I don't even know if isn't that the Queen Anthurium? I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it properly, but yeah. I'm just getting seeds out of here. What else we got here? Yeah, Stephen P. I'm from Wisconsin, so that is exactly why the accent sounds like I'm from Wisconsin. And because this isn't like, because I'm just like blabbling on and just talking, I'm not like controlling my accent as well, so it's sneaking in there. What else we got here? How far are we? Yeah, Dana, I always feel bad when my cuttings don't make it too. I've lost quite a few Anthuriums actually in my past, especially Ecuagenera imports. Nothing against them, it's just when you ship a plant, especially Anthuriums that long, here's my Ecuagenera rant, I guess. I think it's a great site. I think you can get affordable plants. You are taking a slight risk. And something I notice is a lot of times I get like, they're like cuttings off of like a really mature piece of like plant, like mother plant. But that, since they actually like grow it out in their like greenhouse or like wherever they have it, that like woody chunk loses all its life over time, which is natural and normal. And so you have like your nice new growth, but that woody chunk like ends up like rotting and shipping and like causing problems. I feel like that's like always the bane of my existence. It's like if it has one of those, they just get too moist and like weird and shipping. And if they start rotting, I have a heck of a time trying to save Anthuriums from rotting. So that's my only issue, but it's worth the risk. You can get some pretty nice plants for an affordable price, so I like them. How's your giant pothos doing? I need more Anthuriums. I have one queen. I mean, any of you guys in here, if you message me on Instagram, like I trade plants with a lot of people, you know. So if you want to trade for some Anthuriums, and I'm not like a stingy person, so I'm not like trying to get get the better deal, if that makes sense. I mean, obviously, if like 200 of you message me for plants, I can't help everyone, but you know, I can try. Yeah, okay, so Wild Muffin, the pallidiflorum, that's the one I was talking about too. That's a strap leaf plant that I love. Yep, and Vitarifolium, yep, so Beyond Plains, I can't, if I mispronounce your name, don't be offended. The chat is like so far away from me, I can like barely see it. But yeah, those are the ones I'm trying to pronounce. Those are the strap leaves that I love. Where are we? Yep, so Professor Oak, that's exactly where I'm at. You know, the first like year or two, I was really trying my hands with like everything, you know, like trying all kinds of plants. And I'm slowly finding like what I like, what does well, and like what I'm willing to invest my time into. And honestly, in my opinion, like the cool thing is about plants is like once your collection gets big enough, you start to become able to trade with a lot of people. I mean, the only thing is, I mean, I sort of have a privilege, so it's easy for me to say like, oh, I trade all the time, but because people reach out to me, I mean, at least I'm like not a public figure, but people see me, so they know I have plants and they will try and trade with me. But like, if you don't have a YouTube channel or like a really big like Instagram presence, it might be hard for you to trade. But if you like go on again Facebook, I know Facebook sucks, and same with Instagram or Reddit, they all kind of have their issues. Usually you can find a local group that you can trade with. So I think it's worth taking the time. I mean, sometimes you don't get the best trades. They give you kind of a crap plant, but like I said, once your collection gets so mature that you have enough and you can keep making cuttings, you can transition away from like buying plants to like trading for stuff you actually want. So yeah, I mean, just to whoever's point that was, that they're kind of at that stage. Yeah. So Professor Oak, yeah, I'm at the same stage. I gotta work. Okay, you gotta work queenum from Ecuagenera. I live in Cali and it shipped okay. Yeah, I'm sure it would ship okay. Maybe I'll give it a try. Planting with ash, or if you're able to keep it and you think it does pretty good in low humidity, I'm willing to try it because a lot of people tell me things need high humidity, and I find out of pure laziness that they don't. Like, I've got some terrarium plants that were supposedly needing like 100% humidity, and I got them like, I'll actually say thriving. I mean, they were going crazy at 50% humidity, so I don't think it's as important as people think it is, but you definitely don't want to like shock your plant, that's for sure. All right, there's like so many seeds in here. Can you, I don't know if you can make these out, but these are like, let's do what the beauty tubers do. It's mirrored for me. This is like just an old berry that just did not do its thing. So I think it's clean enough. I don't mind some of this like stuff. I wonder if this will play a role in like killing off the new seedlings I put in here. I don't know. I don't think too much. This little bit of organic material will cause chaos, but maybe. All right, now that we got that all mixed up, I'm just kind of roughing this up right now because like I don't know if you can see it, but this stuff is like it's too bright. It's really like fine. I do add water to these bins every once in a while because they dry out. Actually, there's not a good seal around these bins, so I gotta add water from time to time. But the water like pushes down the real fine stuff and leaves like the bigger stuff on top. So I'm trying to like mix it up so it doesn't like compact, you know, causing like some sort of like anaerobic situation where like it doesn't breathe. You can see like how much more fluffier this is. This will be kind of a new experiment for me because it's pretty green. It's hard for you guys to see the way the exposure is, but I feel like a kid playing in the sand. But anyways, it's pretty green, so there's a lot of algae in here. I personally don't have a big issue with algae like causing problems, so we'll see what happens. But I think at this point, maybe I'll pull all these out. We'll get this whole thing sorted. We'll clean this up, and then we'll start getting some actual berries put in here. So let's just get these out. I should have done this from the get-go. I was originally thinking that I would just add seedlings to this side, but I don't know if you can see it. But I'll get them all out, and then we'll start fresh. Here's that albino one, or albino. I guess, would you even call this variegated? I mean, it's just albino in my opinion. You can see it still has its old seed on it. I wish it would survive though. It's kind of pretty, but I doubt it. All right, let's see. Any more questions? Sorry, I'm not paying attention. This is, like I said, this is new for me. Where are we? Don't keep working with high immunity. Do you have any Hoya? Actually, I do have some Hoya. I wonder if this webcam could reach all the way over there. Do I want to risk it for the biscuit, or do we want to go back to the matrix? You know, I have an extension cord. If you give me a second, I will show you these Hoya because they are. Let me see if they actually look as good as I like remember. Hold on. This will really be a challenge. All right, I'm gonna. You know what? I can bring some Hoyas here. Do you guys want to take a break, a 2-second break from the Anthurium, and you can see it. This will actually be embarrassing. You can see my Hoyas that I have, like that I have. That'll be a new live stream. These Hoyas. Wait until you see these. Let me just grab these Hoyas quick. All right, you might not actually be able to see the sad state in which these are sitting in. Let's try not to spill this perlite. Oh my God, it's heavy. Ugh. All right, so here are my Hoyas. This is doing pretty toast here. I mean, they're like okay, but if you can see, they're like covered in mealybugs. Look at this. Oh, whoops. Can you see all those mealybugs? Nah, not really. There's a million of them. This is a stream I'm gonna go through and chop these up, clean them up, but I mean, they're doing okay. This one's doing fantastic, actually. The mealybugs are on it. You can see them. Those punks. I gotta take care of them. It's just one of those things I just haven't gotten to yet. But yeah, my Hoyas are not doing that good. They were doing great. Whoopsie. But then the mealybugs kind of ruined my life. so they're not doing so hot. But here, I'll show you the Hoyas. I'll show you the Hoyas that are doing okay, but the audio might get bad, and then I'll get back to the questions. I'm sorry, this is a chaotic stream, but that's okay. Let me figure out this cord. The problem is this is not. I wish you could see the streaming setup. It's such a joke, but I don't know how else to pull this off. Let me move this coffee, or we're gonna have problems. All right. No, my Hoyas. I just saw the most recent question. I'll say it here while I'm close to the mic. My Hoyas have never bloomed. It makes me mad because everyone else's does, but maybe I'm just not doing something right. All right, here we go. I got some extension cord. You probably won't be able to hear me as well. We just can make it. So, I don't know if you can actually see these Hoyas. They're pretty typical. Can you see that? There's a bunch of plants mixed in, right? But you can see some Hoyas right there. And they go up, and they kind of go up to the window. Oops, I gotta hold this upside down, I think, to make it right side up. I don't know. To the guy or girl who was talking about pothos, here's one of the pothos that I really like. I don't know if you can actually see well. I can't see, so. Well, that'll have to do it. That'll have to be good enough. All right, let's get these cords going. Ay. I definitely need to set this up if I'm gonna do this like proper. Okay. All right, we got decent height. Things are good. We made it back. All right, I have no idea what you guys saw because I couldn't see my screen, so you could have just been staring at my feet the whole time. I wouldn't even know it. But let's see where we are with these questions here. All right, I have some Anthurium seeds going using your video. Awesome on the, wow, really cool. The Clarinavirium and the Forgetii, that's pretty awesome because I've heard that it's really hard to cross those. They have like orange seeds. I can't, my like reading comprehension is really bad, so please forgive me. But it's really cool that you got a hybrid going. I'm really jealous, in a good way. I'm happy for you. All right, let me scroll up a little bit. How's your giant pothos doing? I think. Happy Thanksgiving from Dan. Where did I start here? I've always wondered. I don't know if I already answered the giant pothos thing. For the first time, I'll make a video about it pretty soon here. But for the first time, the leaves are getting smaller. So the newest leaf is a little bit smaller. It's hanging off the pole now, so it's not adhered to it anymore, and I think that's playing a big role of it. But I've also kept it out of the light for quite some time. I've been trying to move things around. You can't really tell, but I've made a lot of changes in the plant room, and I'll make a video about that eventually too. But pothos is going backwards. I'm gonna try and fix that. Where else are we? Titan said, hello Titan, how are you? What's super helpful things? That's your plants. What Yeah, Dana, I love multiplying my pothos too. They're just awesome. They fill out places so easily. The stream's working this time. Yep, stream's actually working. Well, you missed. So Ryan, you missed the matrix. We entered the matrix, but we fixed it. Everything plants. That's pretty crazy. You're gonna have to send me a picture of that cross. That sounds awesome. Is it just kind of like a much? I'm so curious what the shape would be because you got such a long leaf, and then you got more of a wide one. I wonder what they would actually like do and how it would look. Maybe just even more of like a heart shape or something. All right, let me see where else are we? Have you tried pumice instead of perlite? Is pumice just like broken like volcanic rock? I don't actually know what pumice is. If I gotta look up where to get it. I don't know. If I can find it, sure, I'll try it. I'll try anything if it's cheap, especially. Okay, wow, that's so cool. Show us your Hoya. Okay, I showed you my Hoya. Was this a mealybug plant on your Instagram? No, that mealybug plant on my Instagram, I threw that portion out. That might have gone out in the garbage at this point, but that's gone. That was a Cebu Blue pothos, so that was no point in keeping that part of it. I kept the thick part, so we're good. You should quarantine the Hoyas. Yeah, I mean, they're quarantined like 6 feet away from the rest of the collection. I've got freaking mealybugs everywhere. I'm just used to it at this point. I get them to creep on myrtle bonsai. That's pretty cool. Or wait. Do you get mealybugs on your bonsai or something? Pain in the butt, or the Hoyas are getting all tangled in there? Hard to tell what you mean. You're a good man. As all the place, fun to watch. Okay, so you guys could see the pothos. I'm finally catching up in chat. I got dizzy there. Yeah, I'm sorry. I would love to have like a 10 camera setup where cause like with OBS Studio you can set up like scenes and I could just click through them and show you cool stuff. It'd be sweet. Hey Elaine, how you doing? Yes, Marble Queen pothos thing. Do I have any variegated Monstera Addisonii? I don't have any like real variegated anything besides like if you consider pothos variegated. Actually, I have a variegated Jose Bueno, but I'm not keeping it hot enough, so it's like faint. But I think that's really. Do I have anything else variegated? I never like. I couldn't ever spend like $300 at the time when all the variegated stuff was really popular. I mean, even Albo Monsteras are pretty expensive. I've seen some cheaper stuff now, but usually it's like not the like not the pattern I want, you know. Pumice is like perlite, but doesn't break down as easily. Okay, worth paying more for it. I'll have to give pumice if you guys all think pumice is good, I might have to give it a shot. It's never even came across my mind. Hydroponics works like magic. Is pumice like bigger than perlite? Because that would be pretty cool. Or is there different grades? I'm always looking for like more like I want like light rocks to grow my stuff in. Any advice on what plants when going out of town for 2 weeks? What to do with plants? All right, this is actually some good advice. So I've really played around with this, the whole like going out of town and having your plants survive because I go to Korea a lot and then I have to depend on people to take care of my plants, right? So I'll be gone for like a month. But what really helps is reducing light. If you just reduce the light significantly, like they don't uptake water. They're not like perspirating. If they're not like doing photosynthesis, they're not using tons of water. So if you like especially for people using like artificial light, just drop your light down to like an hour or two a day. They're not going to die from not enough light for weeks. It would take so long for them to die from not enough light, but they won't consume as much water. Definitely don't like soak them before you go into that cycle because they're not going to use as much water. And if your soil isn't draining enough, they'll root rot. So there's like a fine line you got to dance. But if you reduce the total light that your plants get, they'll last a lot longer between waterings. That sometimes if I can't get to my plants, I just make it so the lights don't turn on the next day. And that kind of prolongs like the watering. So if you're going on vacation, you could just either take them away from the light and just let them go, or at least you could probably get 5 days easily without any issues. That's what I would do. What else? 2 weeks is pretty tough though. I mean, you could always put them in bins, like big clear bins where the humidity stays constant, and just put a grow light on them. That would work. Do I have a live stream schedule? No, not yet. I already feel like a spaz right now. Like I'm just like, ooh, like going crazy. So unless I can really figure this stuff out, this won't be like a permanent thing. Maybe over time I'll become like better at this and I can make this whole like live stream thing a real deal, but I'm not sure. And if I do, like I said earlier, I'll invest in like better equipment. I have like really nice cameras, but I'm not really sure how to like stream like 6K. Like it's like 6K raw. So I need like a device that can like encode, decode. I don't know the terminology really for streaming. I've never done it. So if this goes well and things are good, then I'll invest in it. You know, I'll do it better. Yeah, the 10 camera thing would be so cool because I could walk around with like a wireless mic and just like, I know they have like remotes and I could just switch through the cameras. Like it'd be fun. They're both volcanic. Pumice, okay, can be abrasive. Yes, and neutral pH. There's different grades. Yeah, I'm gonna give pumice a try. According to all of you guys, it seems pretty legit. I actually want something heavier. So another thing I haven't made a video about, and I probably should have, but I tried just growing some of my anthuriums in just perlite and vermiculite, and it worked really well. I had a magnificum growing really well, rooting, doing great in there. But the problem is it's kind of like perlite's too light and it can like flip out, and then the vermiculite was too fine and it kind of mudded up. But I think like a pumice perlite might be like a really like cheap but affordable way to just grow things without like soil and stuff. So I think that'd be pretty neat. That makes sense with the lights. I started grow lights recently and noticed I had to water. Yeah, I mean, so with watering, like I would love to make a video on like how to water your plants, but there's a lot of factors, and I want to like do like a bunch of experiments to kind of like prove the concepts I'm going to tell you. I just haven't had time to like really do that because I don't want to just make a video where I just say this is like why I believe this. But if I have like video evidence of like how pots affect it, how light affects it, how the soil affects it, like where I can show you like actual like weight measurements of like the soil, how quick it dries, stuff like that. I think it could be very valuable. But yeah, lights is huge. Lights is like one of the biggest important things when it comes to like your watering schedule. If you're hammering them with lights, they're gonna need water like every other day. You know, I water some of my succulents like almost daily because the light's so close, it just like bakes them. And they do great. So it's really, the lighting really changes things. That tip is galaxy brain. Oh yeah, thanks. Like the meme, I get it now. I was like, what does that mean? But I get it. All right, pumice like sponge. So vermiculite? So perlite like adds like aeration. Like perlite doesn't soak up a ton of water. It's like still like light. It allows like air to get like in the soil. But vermiculite is like really wet. It like absorbs water. It keeps moisture. So they're like, I would say they're like polar opposites. At least from my understanding and how I've been using it, that's what I think. Like perlite can dry out a lot easier. It can like breathe. Vermiculite really like soaks up the water like a sponge. But I could be wrong. But that's how I felt like it was working. So it was neat to like mix them and it seemed to work. Oh, they Cafe Ol J. I can barely see the text from here. I'm really sorry. Yeah, thanks for telling me I'm doing good. It's good to hear that this isn't like a horrible stream. I don't want to end up in some like cringe compilation on YouTube or something. Oh yeah, what are we looking at here? Okay, so I'm just answering questions at this point. This was a bin with Anthurium seedlings. I'm going through and taking them out and repotting them. So like, we got an issue where some of these just they're kind of failed to launch. I mean, they're still alive. I'm not going to throw them out, but I need to organize this. I got new berries I want to put in there. So like I got a whole bunch of seeds. I'm going to kind of show you like what I do with these. I even got some like really old ones. And like, I think a lot of people are really nervous about Anthurium berries. Like if they're not fresh, like they'll die and you'll be doomed. But you'll see that. I bet you when I get into this rotting seed or the rotting berry that's all around, you'll see green. I'll show you later. I've seen it sprout in the rotting berry, like in a bag. I've left them in there for a month. One of the tech plant trade secret is if you're really lazy, sometimes you discover things that are quite different than you expect. But they still grow. Like the berries are crazy resilient. And I've done it with multiple species at this point. So it's not like just gracile or something. It's a lot of them. I mean, I definitely wouldn't mistreat my seedlings if it was like my first hybrid or like they're really important. But it's a good way to do like survival of the fittest, so you get like good hardy plants, right? I mean, in my opinion, like this guy here, maybe there's environmental reasons for like why he didn't make it, but like I don't know, compared, this guy obviously seems a little stronger, right? So if the little weak ones don't make it, I mean, they probably weren't going to do well in my setup anyways. Maybe that's a cruel way to look at it, but I don't know. But yeah, so we're just clearing this out so we can replant some new berries and replant the really good plants, and then I'll take those seedlings and do something with them. Gosh, there's so many seeds in here. I think I started with like a few hundred of these, honestly. These were first. I don't have the species name. I think Everything Plants posted it earlier, but I already forgot it. If you've watched my videos, you know how bad I am at pronouncing anything. All right, let's get back to here. What are we looking at? Experiments are the best. Yeah, thanks. So I haven't posted a lot of experiments lately. I feel a little bad because that's like what I do. But my wife was in Korea for like 4 or 5 months, actually, pretty long time. She was visiting her parents because she's from Korea, and during like the whole lockdown and stuff, she couldn't really visit for a while. And we have a child now, so we wanted him to like spend time with the grandparents. So I went to Korea 2 times in like the last 3 or 4 months. And it's hard to start experiments, like even like daily life, it's hard for me to keep up with like the long-term experiments and stuff. And so going on vacation, like I couldn't count on anyone to like film updates, you know? So it's like I didn't start any experiments. And so I don't have any like experiment footage. I've got some how to grow stuff I can post pretty soon here. But yeah, I got to get the experiments back and going again. I got a lot of ideas, or a lot of stuff I want to try. And a lot of the ideas are from you guys. So if you ever have something cool you want to see done, let me know. I'll try it. It's always fun. But yeah, now I'm slowly getting back into things. My wife and son are here, and that the last 3 weeks have been chaos because, when my son left with my wife to go to Korea, he couldn't walk. So we had our house set up properly for a crawling baby. We had the little gate and everything. He couldn't get anywhere. He was in his little playpen, but now he can walk and he's advanced. And when the house didn't evolve with him, it's just kind of the house fell behind and then he showed up, and now so there was a lot of baby proofing and stuff that we had to do. So I'm finally caught up in all that, so I can start some experiments. So yeah, I'll get those experiment videos going. All right, where are we at here? Charcoal and pearlite. Okay, so Beyond the Plains, we use it a lot in Korea. Are you from Korea then, or are you? That's pretty cool. I never thought of putting charcoal in here. I should really try that. Yeah, Korea is my second home. I really love going there. I've been there so many times. It's my favorite country to visit too. I haven't really used charcoal. A lot of times when I trade plants with people, they have nice potting mixes. I almost feel bad because they get some plant and perlite and peat moss or something. Usually they get good plants. So when I trade seedlings, I usually either give them I got more, so if it dies, I'll give you another one, or I do something to make it fair, But I think we got enough seeds out of here. Yeah, I'd have to try charcoal. I don't know where to buy horticultural charcoal, and I don't know if it's expensive. Expense is usually my biggest thing that prevents me from doing certain stuff in mass. I've made some nice aeroid mix that you see from the typical stuff. You got your charcoal, your orchid bark, your perlite, your sphagnum moss, a little bit of dirt, that kind of mix. I forget what they call it. There's a name for it, but I like that mix. It does work well, but it's too pricey for me when you're doing 40 plants, and especially when your plants get big. No one tells you that. Well, everyone tells you this, but your plants will get big. Soon you go from your little pot that only ate up a small portion of your potting mix to a gallon pot, and it surprisingly eats up a lot of substrate. So I can't afford any crazy cool mixes. But I would like to try some charcoal because I don't think it's too expensive. All right, where are we at? What succulent are you baking there? They're just typical succulents. I had some really cool ones, but the mealybugs, I think I'm pretty much done with succulents at this point. When mealybugs get in there, it's such a pain to get them out of those crevices. It's really hard to target them. I suppose I could soak them or something. I have not found a good way to battle mealybugs on succulents. It drives me crazy. I mean, I still have them and stuff. I still like them, but I don't think I ever want to get any more because I have such a problem with mealybugs. I got some interesting poison from Thailand that I want to try, but I haven't tried it yet. Hopefully the poison kills everything, but I'm gonna try it pretty soon here and see if I can get back to a pest-free environment. All right, where are we? I'm lost in the chat. Palm has been amazing for me to root cuttings in the sticks. Yeah, palm I've heard really good things about, and based on some of the little experiments I've been doing with aquarium gravel and things like that, with it's kind of like a poor man's palm. It works pretty well. I mean, it's a hydroponic setup really, and it works good. But if I remember correctly, pond is also pretty pricey. I mean, I think it'd be good to have some on hand. I mean, it's pretty nice. Like you're saying, for propagating stuff, it's great. So, which you don't need a lot to propagate with, so it's probably worth it. And wet sticks, yeah, I bet it works pretty good for the wet stick style stuff. The soil experiments sound interesting. Putting my finger into the inch of the substrate and giving it a feel. Yeah, that's kind of what I do too. I squeeze the pots. Over time you kind of learn what your soil looks like when it's dry. Sometimes it gets too dry, but then I just soak the heck out of it. That's cool. My Anthurium queen will put out 3 leaves, then the older leaves will start dying. What am I doing wrong? All right, so Nate does food. What are you doing wrong when your Anthuriums are putting out new leaves and the old ones are dying? I don't know, because that's the same thing that happens to me with a lot of mine too. I don't know if it's just they're just not in the right environment where they can sustain all those leaves. I honestly don't know. Like I said, or I don't know if I've said this, but a lot of this plant stuff takes years to like really figure out, in my opinion. You really have to try something for months and months at a time, and it takes a long time to figure out like what's actually going on. So I don't know. I don't actually have enough experience to really tell you why the leaves die off, because it happens on some of my Anthuriums too. Others do just fine. They just keep their leaves. So I don't know if it's something with the root system. You know, it can't support that many leaves. I don't know. I'm not sure. I wish I could answer that question, because my Anthuriums suffer from the same. Some of mine suffer from that same problem, especially Magnificum. Velvet Anthuriums, it's like I can get 3 leaves and that's it. Every time a new one comes, the old one goes. So I don't know if it's normal or just don't have the right setup. I honestly don't know. I haven't experimented enough with them. I've got a lot of seedlings now, so I will be able to experiment. That's partly why I like to have a bunch of the same plant. So now I have probably, I don't know, 20 Magnificum. So I can start to do experiments on these more rare plants, because a lot of people don't like that I just use pothos for my experiments, or like more common plants. But I don't have a million. Well, now I'm starting to get my collection up because of seedlings, but I didn't have like a bunch of like really expensive stuff to just like experiment on. So that's why I always use pothos, because it's at least an aeroid, so it should give us a general idea of how things might work with a similar plant, and it's like an affordable option, you know. So what I'm doing right now here is just getting some seedlings together to replant in this perlite. I'm just picking out the bigger ones. Like here, look, this is a problem. This guy's got to use what the beauty people use. There's some root rot on that guy right there. Got some, not looking good. Whatever, I'm sure it'll be fine. So I'm going to try and pot these up. I don't know if you can see this. Here, I got an idea. There we go. All right, where else are we? Got to go. Bye, friend. Planting with Asher. Thanks for stopping by for the stream. I appreciate it. Everyone in here, thanks for stopping by. I should say that more often. I really appreciate everybody being here, interacting with me. It's making this a lot of fun, actually. So thanks for stopping by. That's a nutrients deficiency. Yeah, that might be right, Rye. I mean, I don't fertilize my stuff enough, I feel like. And I'll get to that topic a little bit later in the stream probably, but it might be a nutrients thing. It's just like the plant can't support its leaves, so it just kills them off for new ones, you know. But maybe, who knows? I can't say for sure, but Rye might know something I don't know, so maybe that's true. Yeah, is he still grabbing the plants? Yeah, so Seilaru, I don't know if I pronounced the name right. Sorry, I can't pronounce anything right. He's actually a master propagator. He can grab a plant and rip it in pieces really quick. He's really good at single node propagation. My kid is an excellent propagator, so I don't have any houseplants upstairs because he will kill them. All right, I'm kind of noticing an issue here, and you probably can't see it, but some of these roots are so long that I can't like repot them well. Some of these need to be like potted up. In fact, we're gonna switch it up a bit here. We are gonna repot some of these. Give me like 10 seconds here. I gotta walk the long way because the door is like cutting me off here. I'll be back in like 30 seconds. Let's get some pots. All right, I'm back, and I got some pots. These Anthuriums are going to be just a problem to get back in that perlite. And this is good because they've officially graduated. So they will go into little pots, and I'll show you my potting mix too. You'll laugh. It's pretty funny. All right, let's see where else we are. I got to keep up with this chat. What area do you go if you go on vacation to Korea? Oh, God, I go everywhere. I mean, I've been like Gyeongju, Gwangju, Tongyeong, Busan, obviously Seoul. What's on the East Coast? What is that area called? It's escaping me. I mean, me and my wife have been everywhere. And I have, so like before I met my wife, I was doing like a language exchange with a person here that was going to a university, and I became like super good friends with her, and like we did all kinds of cool American stuff. Like I took her to a gun range. We did like American barbecues, like all kinds of really cool stuff. So we became super good friends, and her sister actually had like a spare room. So I first went to Korea just like for fun, like for a whole month, and the my friend's sister took me everywhere. She actually had been to the U.S. as well, so she was an English teacher, and so she had a lot of free time because she just did like she just tutored a few kids. I mean, we would just went everywhere in Korea, and she could drive too, which is like a pretty, not a big deal, but it really helps because you can get to like uncommon places. I mean, I've literally been everywhere in Korea. I've probably been there for like a total of 6 months, so I love it. I mean, we've seen like everything, and my wife, she can plan like the greatest trip ever. I mean, she's super good at finding such cool places. I mean, I've seen so much. I love it. So, I mean, if anyone ever needs like recommendations on cool things to do, I got a massive list. There's so much fun. All right, where else are we? Nutrient deficiency. Wow, really surprising. Thoughts on the prices of plants at the moment? All right, so Russ, most of the plant prices honestly are coming way down in my opinion. I still think a lot of it's pretty expensive. It still sucks to buy plants. Like, you can spend a fortune on plants. Like, I probably haven't bought in plants for probably like 6-7 months. Like any big ticket items, I buy little things from like a big box store for like $6. But recently, I just bought like $250 worth of stuff from Equigenera. All Anthuriums. I want to try and like spice up the collection, mostly for like just genetic differences. I want some different plants. I only have like, I mean, you've seen my collection. I don't have a very big variety, and I just want a larger variety to try and cross with. So some of the Anthuriums are still expensive, and because they're like still popular and they are cool, and there's a reason everyone wants them, and there's a reason I want them because they can hybridize and make pretty cool stuff. So like one of them I think was like $80, which sucks. I really don't like to spend that much. But overall, the plant prices seem to be crashing, which is good for people who don't want to pay high prices. It's kind of bad if like you like invested in plants to like make income or something. Then I kind of feel bad for those people because it's gonna be hard to sell. But for the most part, I think they're going down. They're not as ridiculous as they used to be. I mean, there was a serious problem with plant pricing for a long time. Let me get some dirt here quick. I kind of previously brought like everything over here I would need for the stream, so. Okay. I'm going to move this bin of perlite off to the side. We're going to pot up some Anthurium seedlings quick, and then we'll go back to, we're going to get to the berries tonight. We will get to the berries, I promise. You can kind of see my potting soil. So maybe problem is that this auto, this helps. Can you kind of see this? It's mostly peat moss and like recycled, like anytime a plant dies, it gets dumped into a bin. I have a large bin that I took this from, and I just recycle everything. I mean, there's even some sphagnum moss in here from like previous, how can I get this brighter? From previous like plants. There's roots, like, I don't even know what this is. This could be like a dead Anthurium or something. I don't know. But it just all seems to work just fine. I don't have it. This looks like a chocolate tree leaf. So like, you know, there's like one leca thing. Like, I don't know what this is. Like bark. Oh, this might be like cocoa peat that didn't get expanded. But this is like what I use for like everything. I want to add a little more perlite though. All right, so we'll mix this up a little bit, and then I'll start potting these Anthuriums up. I'll show you that. Let's get back to the questions. Thoughts on prices? Oh yeah, one last thing about the whole plant prices thing. You know, I kind of mentioned this like probably almost a year ago at this point, but like the new like hot item is actually like Anthuriums in my opinion. Like there's so many people breeding Anthuriums and trying to make hybrids. It's like the new cool thing, which is awesome. I love it. Like the more people making them, the merrier, because that means we're gonna get. It's just almost like genetic lottery at a certain point. The more people doing it, the better off we might be on getting some cool stuff, seeing some neat stuff. And I think it's also expanding just people's collections because they have so many seedlings, and the prices are going down for Anthuriums. You know, they used to be really expensive. I mean, I think Forgetii, Magnificum, Crystallinum, all that stuff used to be like over $100. You can get them now for like 20 to 40 bucks. I mean, that's awesome. Still a little pricey for what they are, but I don't know. All these hybridizers and all these people who finally have mature Anthuriums are getting lots of seeds, and it's awesome. So I love that. I think that's a really cool aspect with the whole like pricing at the moment. It's just a lot of people are breeding Anthuriums. I think this is my claim for 2023. Write this one down. The next big thing is going to be like philodendron. People are just now starting to pollinate them. They're starting to realize you have to cut open the flower and kind of do this goofy stuff that's not as easy, I think. And a lot of times the seeds are really small. I would like to do it, but it seems tough. So I haven't moved on to that. But other people, they're moving on to that, and that'll be the big thing, I think, in the next few years. Anthuriums will become boring because it'll be too common, you know, like, oh, everyone's doing Anthuriums, so I want to do something different. So more power to them. We might see some sweet philodendron hybrids, and then after that, maybe the Monstera species. I think more and more people will learn how to do that. Their plants are becoming mature enough to flower, so it'll make the prices really crazy. It's going to be a lot of fun, I think. The next few years will be cool. All right, where are we? I can't breathe. I'm talking so fast and too much. What are your goals for your YouTube channel for the next 3 to 6 months? I would like to go back to like the tech plant basics. I redid the lighting. It's all white again. I thought the color stuff would be cool and kind of spice the channel up a little bit. You know, when I had the orange and blue lighting, you know, that typical cinema poster lighting that always works. I thought that'd be kind of cool, but I don't like it for filming the plants. I love just white on white. Like white background, white ground, everything just white, because then the plant is like all you see. You can really see the colors. It's really cool. You could see that new setup in the most recent video of mine, so it's all white. So I'm going back to that. I want to go back to more experiments. I haven't done a lot of experiments in the last so odd like months and year, and almost probably a year. I haven't really done anything crazy, so I want to do more experiments and get back to that. That's a lot of fun, and maybe live streaming. We'll see how it goes. So. Maybe some care videos. I mean, those seem to, like, as much as I like doing YouTube, I also want to, like, grow the channel and earn, like, more revenue. I know it's, like, a little greedy, but having money helps, especially raising this. My kid is expensive. Kids are expensive, guys. Let me tell you. But it'd be nice to have a little more money, you know, because my channel is, I don't know what it is about my videos, but they're so inconsistent. I cannot like figure out the consistency. I'll have a video that can hit 1 million views, and then the next like 15 videos are like 3,000 views to like 20,000 views. And I'm not complaining because I still like doing this. And honestly, there's like probably like 3,000 people, I would say, that are like actual tech plant fans. You know, the lemon video, even though it was really successful and it grew my channel a lot, those people who wanted to see the lemon trees, not that many care about like aeroids, you know. So like my aeroid content doesn't do very good, but holy cats. Hey Bailey, you guys do not give me money in this stream. Don't do that. I mean, I really appreciate it, but just watching my videos and commenting on my videos is all I need. I really enjoy the comments. I don't know if you guys noticed, but I try and answer most of my comments. Some I get behind, but I try my best to answer. If you go through a lot of my videos, I mean, I'm still answering questions on the lemon tree video that was like 3 years old. So I'm trying my best. Sometimes I don't get to them and it gets too far in the backlog, but I really try. But honestly, the best way to support this channel is just to watch the videos and comment and talk and like be in this live stream. This is a lot of fun. I'm having a great time. So that's the best way. And that's the future of my channel, I think, is just more experiments. That seems to be my like bread and butter. How do I make this brighter? Seems so dull. Can you give me 1 second? Let's see if we can like configure this live. Configure video. Can we get the brightness up? Oof, it's kind of like needs some contrast. Yeah. Also, if this live stream thing becomes a thing, like I said, I will get some. I don't know if that's any better. I will get some better equipment so we can actually see what's going on here. Because seeing is like the important part of my... Oh, God, this is horrible. Hold on. Growing pains. You got to figure this stuff out, right? Configure video. A little too much brightness, I think. It's just really hot light. Can I turn it away a little bit? Get some brighter. What if we just do this? What's the quality like on this? Is it... it's still bad. Okay. I don't know what to say, guys. I can't get this quality good. It's just, I think I ruined it more than I did the good. Ay. What a life. Let's see the hand test. I think it's as good as we're getting here. All right. Anyways, back to the comments. Sorry, guys. And thanks again, Bailey. You guys don't have to do that, but I appreciate it for my kid. I'll let him know that this $10 is from you. He'll appreciate it. All right, where are we? So yeah, that's where I'm taking the channel. Kind of back to the basics. Mealy bugs on bonsai. Lay gently on side, blast with hose and high pressure. Yeah, actually, Titan Uranus. All right. Okay, let's slow down with these names. I want to build, like, you know how people have those like misters, you know, for like misting terrariums. I want to build like a enclosed like plastic thing that I can set a plant in and like cover the pot and just like hit it from all angles with like a reservoir of like neem oil or whatever, and just where it can spray from underneath, spray from above, and just blast it, because that's the best way to get rid of those mealy bugs, in my opinion. Use horticultural charcoal. Yeah, I gotta get some of that. I gotta try it. It's just like pumice. I gotta add that. It's super easy making your own charcoal. So Carson, I sort of made charcoal with like burning tons of like brush and wood, but I didn't know if you could just use like stuff from like the bonfire, you know. It looks and feels like charcoal, but I was a little nervous. Where else are we? Thank you for replying. Yeah, this is what this is all about, is talking with you guys. Have you tried CalMag on your Anthuriums? You know, I was using it a lot, actually. I was spraying it in every time. I don't know if I actually noticed a difference. You know, I'm not sure. The problem with plants is there's so much. I mean, there's literally so much to know. I mean, even if you think you got your nutrients right, like, one nutrient can like cause another one to not be like uptaken by the roots. Like, nutrients can like block other nutrients. The pH, that can cause problems with nutrients. There's like a million different things that can cause like so many problems. It takes forever to learn this stuff. You know, when you see these like these 80-year-old or like 70-year-old like growers who've been doing this for years, they must know so much. They must be so good because they've just had years of trial and error to like really learn this stuff. I'm so jealous of that. Yeah, I mean, nutrients, CalMag, all that stuff, I've used it. I don't know if I use it effectively, you know, but these are things I got to learn. But there's so much to learn. So eventually I'll try it again because I think I'm running low on it. But yeah, I like to mix it in. See if it works. But another thing too is I have well water, and I've been switching between like soft water and my hard well water. And my hard water is like 30 degrees of hardness. And I don't know if you know much about like degrees of hardness, but that is extreme. It's like liquid rock. I mean, there's so much calcium and like minerals in my water. It's unreal. I don't even think I need CalMag, honestly. I've been using that, and it doesn't seem to affect my plant, so it seems to be doing well. All right, so we got 2 piles here. I'm going to try and pot these up. These are kind of like not so good. I don't know what to do with those. We'll figure something out. All right, what else we got here? Surprising about some people not liking pothos for experiments. Yeah, I agree, Dana. They are it's an underrated plant. Pothos are fantastic, especially if you grow one really long term with like variegation. You'd be surprised at like the leaves that it can put out. That it could be putting out some pretty generic stuff, and then all of a sudden like 2 or 3 will be insane. I don't know if you could hear that weird banging noise in the background, but that's just the sump pump. The check valve is like. It's a whole problem. So it should only happen every 10 minutes or so. I'm just so sorry about that. But anyways, back to the... Hey, Steven. How you doing? Oh, it's with me. How are the honeybees doing? Mr. B. What's up, Mr. B? I actually just checked on the honeybees today. So today in Wisconsin, it was relatively warm. I wasn't going to check on them at all anymore because it's been so cold. I don't want to like kill them with like opening them up. But there's like the honeybee the honeybee cage or hive or whatever you want to call it, there's like 2 layers on the top, so you can kind of open the top to like, I've been giving them sugar because I'm a little nervous about their like safety for the winter, and so it doesn't completely open up, so all the heat doesn't escape. But the bees were in there doing things, so they're still alive. I gave them some more sugar. They had not eaten all the other sugar, so the honeybees might make it through this winter, but I don't know. I don't think they built up enough, but we'll see. But yeah, today, shockingly, I was able to like check on them because it was so warm out. I don't know if you can even see what I'm doing. I got to put this like on camera. This kind of sucks. These roots got so... This is why you can't leave things go too long, because it becomes a problem. Laziness, it can be helpful sometimes, but bad other times. I don't know what I'm going to do about this. Just jam it in, I guess. So we're going to put it in there. It's okay if it's on an angle. This is only a temporary pot. All right, where else are we? Honeybees. So yeah, honeybees are doing good. So I had some. So this one is to Miles Hoffman, aka Paradise in a Pot. So I've never really had like. I guess there must be eggs in the soil. I don't know much about the life cycle. I honestly expected almost every pest that I deal with, I expect their life cycle to all take place on the plant, from what I understood. If it's in the soil, ooh, that sucks for me. But most of my pest problems are just because there are pests already in my like collection. Like thrips, I've seen them on a plant once and I smoked them right away. I've never seen them again. Spider mites, I get them from time to time, but I can keep them at bay. Honestly, it's the mealybugs that irritate me because I don't know. I just don't see them right away, and all of a sudden they're like everywhere. They're like just punks, you know. But if they lay eggs in the soil, then this is a bad idea. What I'm doing, you know, maybe this is my problem. But what am I supposed to do with old dirt? You know, I don't want to throw it out. So I'm kind of potting these a little deep, right? You can't even see like the actual growth point. But by the time I water this stuff, because it's pretty loose, it'll appear. And again, I do a lot of survival of the fittest. If you can't cut it, sayonara. Because honestly, there's hundreds of plants here. I don't even have the capacity for it. Like I said, if you guys, it's gonna be hard now to like ship plants out if you guys like want to trade or something, because it's getting cold. But you always feel free to reach out to me on Instagram. If you have a serious question, guys, if you have a real serious question that you need answered, just DM me on Instagram. Do not leave it on YouTube. It's too easy to get like behind on YouTube, and then I'll miss your question. I always feel guilty. And if it's a long form like conversation you want to have, don't even try it on YouTube, because the reply system is so bad. I can see your initial comment. Your initial comment can pop up very easily. I can access it. But if you reply to that comment, like I have to go like into the video. Sometimes it doesn't load properly and I can't find the thing to reply to. It sucks. It's like the worst interface ever. So if you want to have like a conversation or ask a question and follow up on my answer, just go on Instagram. I know it sucks that you might have to make an Instagram, but it's the best way to like actually talk to me. My DMs are open. I usually check them every day. Sometimes I do ignore people accidentally. So if you get ignored, message me again. Like keep trying. I've stiffed a lot of people in the past just because the sheer amount of like people that contact me, but I try my best but that's the best place to ask questions. Where else are we? Jennifer Dapa, hello everyone. Hey Jennifer. Beyond plants, I have a flower on my philodendron. Yeah, see, the philodendron stuff, I'm telling you, that is the future of like all the cool people are going to be making philodendron hybrids, because it's more challenging. I hope you can figure it out on the next try. That's the worst part about this trial and error stuff, is it takes a while for another flower to come. I have a friend who has philodendrons that flower, and we haven't even begun to like try and pollinate them, because it's kind of screwy. You have to cut the leaf open sometimes, depending on the phase, to get access to it. It doesn't make sense to me. Here, at this point, I'm tired of doing Anthurium potting, so I'm just putting 2 in 1. It's a fuller pot. Here's a sweet plant hack. You want a fuller pot? Just put more plants in it. So yeah, the philodendron, I'm telling you, whoever can really get good at it, you'll be like the superstar in the plant world, because you'll be pumping out cool hybrids. So figure that out, and then teach me. What's next? Can you hybridize monsteras? I'm so behind on chat. All right, I'm going to cruise through chat here. Thinking about popular variegators. Yeah, you can. There's a lot of monstera. I have like 4 or 5 different species. maybe 6. I mean, I got Esqueleto, regular, like, Deliciosa. I've got Edisonii, some mystery ones. I don't even know what they are. I got to look at the takes. They're kind of odd looking. I got Dubia. You can definitely hybridize them. It's just, their process is quite a bit different. Their flowers look weird, and people just, the information isn't as wide, and I just don't think it's as easy. Anthuriums are very easy. I am so behind in comments. In my opinion, like the Spadix will turn wet for the ones that are easy to hybridize. I shouldn't say they're easy. I've got some that I cannot understand. But most of the time, there's a female phase. The Spadix gets wet. I have one that's almost about to do it. I should probably check right now because it's like any day now. But once it's wet, you just put pollen on there. Done. And then you can collect pollen like a week later when it switches phases. So they go from female to male. And there's like time in between, so it shouldn't self-pollinate. Some self-pollinate, but others don't want to, so there's timing. So keep going. Oh, wait. Have you experienced the rage that is Alocasia? Hilo Beauty? I'm not sure what like cultivar that is. Alocasias, I cannot grow them well. Every single time I get them going good, they just go into like flower mode and they never stop and they just die. Or they look horrible. And maybe they're, like I've said in videos, I'm pretty sure sometimes they're just dormant. But then I kind of screw up like do I water it enough or not enough, and I end up just killing them, or they just never come out. I've actually donated my allocate, so I had some dragon scales, and I donated them to my like local conservatory. And I get to see them when I visit the conservatory, and they're great. They're doing good, you know, because they do great there. But me, I just can't do alocasias. I don't know what it is. I love them. I mean, back in the day when dragon scale was like the thing, and they were like $150, I really contemplated buying one because I really love dragon scales. I think they're like absolutely beautiful, but every time I try and keep one, it just dies. So I don't. For an experiment, or how is your mature pothos doing? All right, so people, you're not the first person to ask. I'll just grab it. Give me 1 second. Ooh. All right, I'm not sure if you can really see it from here because the camera's like not the best, but it's still doing great. However, I want to say that the newest leaf, which is right here, is a little bit smaller, so it's not getting, it's actually declining. I don't know how the audio is. I'm pretty far from the mic. It's declining a little bit, but it's really hard to see this. This new leaf here, you can barely see it, but it looks pretty big, honestly. So maybe it's coming back. Problem is, it's off the pole, so I want to get it on a piece of wood. I don't know if everything plants. It looks like everything plants is still here. He's been growing pothos on like wood, and they're doing good. They're getting bigger and bigger. Not to shill his channel, but definitely check it out. He's got some pretty cool stuff. He's got the proof is in the pudding. He's got multiple updates where they started pretty small on the planks, and they're getting bigger. And so I'm gonna shift mine to wood as well, because the 3D printed moss poles, I haven't had the time to get them going. I tell everyone on Instagram, like, oh yeah, in a month I'll be selling them, but it's been like a year. It's just, I can't get to it in time. I got some cool 3D printed stuff I want to release, but anyways, I think wood is the best for now. I'm going to try it. So that's how the pothos is doing. Ooh. All right. But let's see where else we are, because I think I'm still falling behind here. Alright, for an experiment, I'm dying to know whether including more stem on one side of the... Yeah, okay, so Vix, I almost wonder if you're the one who mentioned doing that experiment in the past in the comments, and I may have replied like, I want to do that, and I definitely want to. That's very interesting. The concept of like which side should be longer is actually really cool, because if one is better than the other, you can easily like cut all your cuttings that way, and it would actually work out. Like, it's not like you would have to do like every other one or something. Like, every single cutting could totally be like on the closer side or longer side, and it would, if it's better, why not, right? So I gotta try that. Like I said, things have finally like calmed down with my family, where I can start doing experiments. I don't have any big trips planned. I have one like December trip to visit my sister-in-law, but that's not super long, or maybe I think that's supposed to be like a week and a half, but that's not too long to not film. 1 week is like actually normal for how long I don't film. So maybe I'll get some started like this week and we can get going on that. Your accent is like a less aggressive crime-paced botany. Yeah, his is pretty strong, but I think his accent really helps like his whole spiel, like his whole personality, his whole attitude. The accent really helps. It's obviously a natural accent, but I think it's perfect for like how he acts and like what he does. It's great. My accent is from Wisconsin, so our jaws are frozen 6 months out of the year, so we just don't talk properly. And I'm talking fast, and I'm not thinking, so my accent comes out more. It gets worse like that. But for the videos, I try and keep it good. I know, not to talk about the accent, but I bet you I have 2,000. This is not an exaggeration. I bet you I have 2,000 comments on that lemon tree video about the way I pronounce bag. So people do not like that. They have come up with every possible way to write the word bag. I think it's funny. I'm never offended by like anything anyone says, so it's pretty funny to see them. But I've seen the same one like 1,000 times, But whatever. It's fun, and it gives me more comments. So if they want to talk about the accent, boost me in the algorithm. That's like a win-win if you ask me. Jess Noemi. Oh, hello from the Midwest. Hello. You probably be suffering in the cold pretty soon here, just like me. I don't know what kind of accent you have, but if it's anything like mine, it's interesting. I don't know if Wisconsin is pretty unique or if it's just the Midwestern accent. I'm not sure. I know we say stupid things like the stop and go lights. Yeah, you just got to cross the stop and go lights over there. Yeah, or something. I don't know. It can get really heavy. And stop and go lights are traffic lights. We just say like stupid things, but whatever. Bake old dirt at 180 for 20 minutes on a cookie sheet. Miles Hoffman, I think my wife would slap me if I put a bunch of dirt in the oven. She is not a fan of like dust, so dirt in the oven I would be in trouble. I need to get a special oven for that. I don't have cool plants to trade. I don't need cool plants. I've actually, I don't want to like say this because I don't want to like cause like a gold rush, but like there's been fans who just reach out to me and like I see that they've like commented on a lot of, I notice people who comment a lot. I read almost every comment, probably 75% if not more comments, and I respond to a crap ton, and I see the same people over and over again. I see the same people interacting, and when they reach out to me, I sometimes just ship them plants. I'm not saying this to be like, hey, if you constantly interact with my channel, you'll get some free plants, but don't think that like you don't have something good enough to like trade. I'm not stingy. If you saw the bin earlier, there's like a million seedlings here. These are all like bad seedlings that could totally be, or they're not bad seedlings, they're just young and they could be traded away for nothing. You know what I mean? So don't hesitate to reach out. I'm not trying to, I kind of hope not everyone reaches out now that I'm like saying this. I don't want to like make this like a thing, but I'm not like stingy and I don't judge plants. So if you got something cool, or even if it has an interesting, I don't know, just message me. We'll see. First time here. Hey, what are we doing? Mostly just babbling on. I'm failing to like do anything. I'm supposed to be repotting Anthuriums here. We'll get to the berries eventually. I think we've been at this for like an hour. Do you have a video where you talk about how you learned your plant knowledge, college books you read and recommend? So I didn't do well in school, and I just went to like a tech school or a 2-year school for computer web design, actually. Somehow I made it into the back end. But anyways, most of my plant stuff or knowledge has come from trial and error. I've killed so many plants. I mean, the best way to learn is to just like do something and see like what happens. I mean, that's kind of why this channel even exists, because a lot of these how-to videos are like, I tried a bunch of stuff and like this seems to work. And I mean, I've always liked the sciences, so I have like somewhat of a general understanding. And when I consume like YouTube or when I consume media, a lot of times it's like more like interesting like sciencey stuff. I like that stuff. I like if I'm reading an article about something and there's like some side concept within the article, like I'll like stop reading that article and like go to the next like topic to like understand that first before I come back. And like sometimes you can keep going and like you're watching like some video about like Arctic icebreakers and like how they keep the ice from like puncturing the ship with like air bubbles. I don't know. You can get off on some crazy tangents if you just keep clicking away and learning new concepts. So most of my plant knowledge comes from just trial and error. At this point, I think I've been doing this for like 4 or 5 years of like growing houseplants, indoors. I think that's where most of it comes from. And I watch other videos, see what other people say, and I test it out. I think testing what other people say out is like the best thing you can do, so you can really find out if it's true. So yeah, I wish I went to school and like tried. I didn't do so well in school. I didn't think it was important. And looking back, I think it would have been really cool if I actually went to a 4-year college and did something like in botany or something. I don't know. I think it'd be pretty cool. But I never did that. But I mean, it's never too late, but I don't want to spend the money on school. So just trial and error. Where else are we? Yeah, so Vix, I will get that experiment going, I promise. Because it's a cool experiment. Let me make sure I didn't miss anybody. Cannabis industry. Okay, I definitely missed it. Just add CalMag. Yeah, so that's why I bought CalMag, because that was like the big thing. If like your plant is yellowing, it's CalMag, you know. It's missing those nutrients. But when you look into it deeper, there are things that can cause like the calcium magnesium to not even be uptaken. So who cares if you add a bunch? Like something is preventing it from even being absorbed. Oh, I missed this one too. Muddler's nutrient flow chart. Yeah, that's probably pretty helpful if you. I'm assuming that like shows you different deficiencies. Of course, mate, I've been a fan since your Deliciosa prop. How did I lose? Yeah, thanks again, Bailey, for that $10. I really appreciate it. And I'm glad that you've enjoyed the content. It's like the most important thing is that people enjoy it. I brought a wet stick, stolen oblique, or I bought a wet stick, stolen. Oh, okay. So when do you pot up that oblique cutting? I would, if as long as it's not like suffering, I'd just leave it in its thing and let it get a few more leaves, let it get some more roots. I've left things in prop boxes for over a year. I could show you guys some. It's disgusting, honestly. It's a sin. I've left things in a prop box for over a year, and it's ridiculous. But I'm usually not in a rush to like move things. Let it get like situated, you know. All right, thanks for. Okay, Dana, sorry, you're probably already gone, but thanks for stopping by for the stream. I really appreciate it. Bake, first time. What are we doing? All right, I think I'm finally catching up. Love the live you're doing it. Thanks. I appreciate it. Do you have a video where you talk about how you learned? Okay, got there. Oh, you cute as that. Thanks, I appreciate it. Thanks for the compliments. I don't know how I'm keeping my African mask allocation alive. I'm in the Midwest too, so we'll see if I can keep her survive. Yeah, I hope so. The thing with like the sucky thing about, so this is to Jess about the alocasia. With living in the Midwest, like our sun cycle becomes really poor. So if you're growing like with the windows, you really gotta like watch your watering and stuff, and even dormancy, because the sunlight is really going to affect like how fast your plant is like sucking up water. It's crazy how much of a thing it plays. Mandy, I can't read the last name, it's too far. The names are like lighter text. I don't know if you've ever seen live chat from this end, but it's hard to read the names. Have you tried the mycorrhizal? It's like a fungus or something, right? Inoculate. I've never tried it, but I'm sure it works. I mean, almost everything that people try and do and like add to their soil is to try and like imitate nature, right? I mean, when you see these like aeroids growing in their natural environment, they're like amazing. They're huge. They're like just thriving. So I'm sure like having like an active like, I'm pretty sure this mycorrhizal stuff is like some sort of fungus like additive or something. I'm sure it all helps like break down nutrients in a way that plants can uptake it. So I would think any way you can emulate is good, but I also sometimes worry that like none of it actually makes a discernible difference, just because it's almost impossible to really replicate nature, right? It's pretty tough. I mean, people look at all this stuff out there for plants. It's crazy. And not all of it always works, but I don't know if it's like worth the cost. I don't know how much this stuff is cost, like how much it costs, but that's like my big driver is like, if I'm spending like $50 on this like little bottle, like is it really, am I getting $50 worth of like help on my plants from it? I don't know. I've never tried it. I would like to try it, but it's just one of those things that's on the list. Okay, you really look buff in the stream. Yeah, so extreme chimp. Okay. All right, so yeah, I'll show you the gym. I actually just got finished building it. I don't know if you can see it, but I've got like a barbell and stuff. I built like there's a garbage can in the way. I built like a deadlifting platform, you know, and I got this little pulley system up in the air. So it's pretty good, actually. I've been using it quite a bit. I really enjoy like having a gym in my home, especially with the kid. Like I don't want to like leave my wife at like 5 p.m. Like, all right, I'm going to the gym for 3 hours. So this is awesome. This really helps like still be there with my family, but get some workouts in. I love it. So I've been lifting probably like almost a year now. I don't have any like big gains to show for it, but I've been getting bigger. I can feel I'm getting stronger, which the strength thing has been really cool for having a kid because I'm like the strong dad now. I can like, I don't know. It's just, it seems it helps when you got a family to be strong. I can lift things and move furniture and I don't know. All right, where are we here? He's got the traditional old school Chicago accent. I've only heard that from my great uncle. Yeah, the bag. Yeah, see, Jess knows. She knows all about the bag. Oh, I love a trade. Yeah, message me if you, Miles. Just hit me up on Instagram. Remember, if you're gonna do any interacting with me, any real interacting, like a conversation, it's got to be Instagram. The comments on YouTube don't work. I can answer a question, but your follow up will be lost. I'm here for the berries. Yeah, I need to get to the berries. All right, let's just get to the berries. I can deal with these later, because this is it's already 11 o'clock. God, there's so many seedlings. All right, I want to show you guys the berries. That's what this stream is about. Not a pile of dirt on the desk. This is the tech plant. Wait, just chuck it in a bucket and see what happens. All right. I wish you guys could see this live stream setup. It's so stupid. It's so like janky. Got my towel. So I can clean this up. Like I said, I kind of pre-prepped like everything I think I'm gonna need, so I don't have to get up and like walk away from stream. All right. So I almost feel like the ShamWow guy, like, all right, guy, or like I don't know how it goes, but they do all kinds of. I just have like this chaos going on, like I'm like selling something. All right, well, let me see where we're at before we actually get to the berries. I gotta keep up with the comments here because they're coming in. All right, I'm able to take the free bad plants from work whenever I work. Yeah, see, that's awesome. Anytime you can get free plants in like situations like that, it's so cool. Because then you have all these extra orchids that one, you can take care of and enjoy. Two, you can experiment on because you don't have to feel as guilty if something goes wrong. If you didn't like, you're not losing money value. You can experiment, you know? And three, you can trade them for something else. It's like you got like ammunition or something. It's great. Have you considered experimenting with staghorn ferns? I have one small staghorn fern. I can't find anyone that sells like a nice mature one. And honestly, I always let my ferns dry out too much. I need to set up a... There's so much I want to tell you guys about because I got big plans, guys. I got big plans. The plant room I've been rearranging because I want to build like almost like a open air terrarium and almost build like plastic blinds so I can like lift them and see it and then close it off for like higher humidity. I want to get like that 80% humidity and basically I want to build a giant plastic box. And I want to like how do I even describe this? I just want to make like a giant terrarium you can walk into. Because my plants are on shelves. I enjoy them. I love them. But earlier I showed those Hoyas like in the corner. Some of my plants are really growing into each other and they're like filling out the back corner of the shelf. And it looks so pretty. I mean, it's starting to look like not a jungle or something, but it looks like real. Like some, I want to emulate that and make it better. I want my plants to like look pretty and natural. Like the shelf is great, but I want to make it better. So I don't even know what I was talking about before that, but yeah. Oh yeah, the staghorn fern. Once I get that set up, I'll get some more ferns because I can put them in a lower light situation and keep them wet, you know? Yeah, Jess, it all comes down to the money. Yep, especially with substrates and stuff. That's why I haven't tried like anything too crazy because it just gets expensive. Country girl, you can always go back to school. Yeah, that's very true, but if school was affordable, it'd be one thing. But I'm not like it's too late to be spending like $50,000 on school, you know what I mean? Or like at this point in my life, like I have a wife, a kid, and like I'm like barely keeping myself afloat right now. So so like adding that and the time is the other really big aspect. It would be really tough for me to go to school. I'm sure the yellowing is because of 30% humidity. The yellowing 30% humidity. I don't know what that is in regards to, but yo, what up, Pleco Cat? What's up? I mean, I think school would be good, but yeah, it's just expensive. But I would love a formal education. When I see that botany pay or crime pays, but botany doesn't. When I see like how good he is at identifying plants, I'm so envious. His abilities are really something else. It's really amazing. That's sick, man. Awesome. You should check out Jeff. Teaming with fungi. Yeah, I should copy paste this somewhere. Give me 1 second. because I don't know how this chat preserves. So let me just put this in a tab. I will check out this fungi thing. It looks pretty. I'm sure it'll be interesting. Uh-oh, I lost the chat. Okay, we're back. All right, Vix, I use the myocoriz. I wish I could pronounce it. I feel like such an idiot. That's the one. The one sad thing about my channel is I sound like such an idiot when it comes to pronouncing these words. I just can't do it. Not sure it makes a difference, but yeah, it's exactly. It's definitely not hurting them, but over time, I think you'll find out if it really works. I think it'll turn, like, it just takes time to really understand if that, like, fungi actually, like, does good stuff. Extreme, like, country girl. Extreme, I can't read that from here. Microbiomes has a sample box for $10. You just pay shipping and handling. Great way to try your stuff. All right, let me copy paste that into a new tab. Yeah, always recommendations are always appreciated. I love it because there's some stuff I don't even know exists. I mean, the plant hobby's so big, you can't know it all. You can't know it all. Look, oh, she ate that. Okay, favorite plant, book, song. Yeah. Oh gosh, that's a lot of questions. Favorite plant? I really love all my plants right now. I'm really at a point where I'm enjoying like everything I have. They're all so fantastic. Favorite book? Oof. It's been a while since I've read like a formal book, as sad as it is. I don't know. Song? Ooh, that's a hard one too. Album? Ooh, I can't. I'm a terrible person. Dish? I like Korean food. Music? I mean, I really used to love like the Killers and stuff. A lot of my music is changing now, and I think it's like whatever the YouTube algorithm feeds me. I listen to a lot of different stuff. I'm not really picky. I love most things. Like I'm really I feel like I have like a positive outlook on like everything. I could watch like any like film genre and be like okay. I think just like gore is like the only thing I'm not a big fan of. As I get older, like that stuff just like grosses. It's like I think of like how it could actually happen to somebody, and I'm like, ugh, I don't like this. So I like everything. I know that's not the answer you're looking for, but I can't think of anything. I don't think I ever managed any kind of. Yeah. So Vix, like this is gonna be just what it is for now. I should get these berries going. People came for the berries. We gotta get these berries on screen. I promise the berries. Yeah. I mean, it's gonna look like bad now, but if this becomes a thing. If I can keep streaming and it actually is like worthwhile and I have the time, I'll get some better setup. Yeah, Jess, if you gotta go, you gotta go. I'll definitely be doing more streams. This won't be the last one. I'm having a lot of fun so far. What else we got? Oh, Jess, thanks for typing that in, but even then I'll probably screw it up. So mycorrhiza. There we go. I got to figure it out. Mycorrhiza. I'm brilliant. Thanks for the help with that. People need to do that with every word from me, honestly. Thank you very much. Vix Verdant. You don't sound like an idiot. You're relatable. I guess that helps. It's the charm, I guess. Yeah, it's just those Latin names are too much for me. Extreme. Can you do a video where you work out and drink beer on the beach? If I was really strong and big, maybe, but... Like, I don't even have abs or anything, and I'm, like, my numbers just aren't there. I don't think it'd be beneficial. Like, I'm still struggling with, like, I don't know, just getting the big numbers. My big goal is to bench, like, 225. I think that'd be cool. I'm at, like, 185 now for, like, 2 reps, and I'm doing, like, I can, like, rep 175. So we're working our way up, but I keep, like, injuring myself because I'm just, like, I want to get the numbers, you know, and it just slows me down. But... if I was really big and like knew what I was doing lifting and I could actually like give advice, I would maybe make a video about lifting, but my advice is bad. People would just like have broken backs after watching my video. Just like you keep teaching us stuff, there must be other YouTubers that are out there to teach you. Yeah, I watch, usually when I'm watching people on YouTube, it's like people like kind of like teaching things, experiments, stuff like that. That's usually what I watch. Lately, it's been a lot of 3D printing stuff and like machining. I really love 3D printing. I just haven't had the time to like really get it going. I got so many cool things I want to show you guys. I've made some really cool like, not products, but I've got this really cool thing I want to release, but I don't want to release it too soon because I'm afraid like everyone else will like clone it and like I'm just the idiot who like was too slow to print. You know, I want to actually like print it and like sell it and not like, I'm not trying to be like, oh, I want to make a lot of money and I'm greedy. Like, I've been trying to find a way for Tech Plant, because there's people that reach out and they're like, you know, I want to support your channel. Like, how can we support your channel? Do you have merch and stuff? But it's hard for me to find like decent merch that isn't like expensive. Like, I don't want you guys to pay like $30 for a t-shirt to give, like, support me with like $3. You know what I mean? We're just supporting a t-shirt company. It doesn't really help the channel. I mean, yeah, it's kind of cool. And I shouldn't be that hard on merch. But I really want to give like value. And like, the thing I love about 3D printing is I can sell it really cheap because it doesn't cost a lot to print. So I don't have to like gouge you. There's no middleman. I can literally ship it. And I've got some really cool stuff I think you guys will love. And once I can release that, like, that would be a super awesome way where you can support the channel, receive like something you can really put to use, and it will be like the best like relationship ever, if that makes sense. So I just haven't perfected it yet. I want it to be good. All right, so Pleco Cat, I just keep teaching stuff more on YouTube. Okay. What do you do with your plants when you travel? And I'm stressing out about Christmas break right now. Usually I pull out my cell phone. I'm like, Mom, will you please take care of my plants, please? And I know she doesn't like to because she has to drive all the way to my house. And like, it's not like, you guys obviously know this because most of you probably have more than 10 plants. It isn't as simple as just coming and watering 10 plants with like a little jug of water. It's like gallons of water. It's a process. So I always feel bad. But I said this earlier, the best way to like prolong waterings is you got to lower your light levels, you know? So if you turn your lights down or like take your plants further away from the windows, they're not going to suck up water nearly as quick. They will go much longer without it. Now, I definitely recommend getting a feel for this before you go on vacation. Don't like think, oh, you know, I'll just reduce the light before vacation. Like, really figure out like how well that actually works for you. Like, maybe a month before your vacation, try taking your plants away from the window a little further. See like how fast they're drying out so you can get an idea of your timing, you know. And definitely don't like, the worst thing you could do probably with this advice is like douse your plants, like just soak them and then take them away from the light, because then you'll probably like root rot them, because suddenly they're not going to take up water and they're just going to sit. So you kind of have to figure out the timing, but reducing your light can prolong the time between waterings. That's my best advice. Or put them in bins. I can't drag it over here, it's too big, but I've had some plants in bins for like 6 months, no water, just barely any light. They're still alive. They're still fine. Bins are amazing because they keep the humidity up. Plants don't dry out, and they just kind of, it's like a cryo chamber, or I don't know how you pronounce it, but those like freezing chambers. They just chill. I would do that before you go on vacation. If you really have a lot of time away, buy a big old plastic bin and chuck them in, and they should do it good. I think they'll do well. Hey, Artie and Artie. I recognize that. I recognize quite a few of you actually in here. Send an IGDM, keep up. Okay, awesome. Yeah, I'll look at that after the stream. Print it, make sure it works, print better ones, experiment that again. Yep, exactly. That's what I'm doing. I have multiple printers and stuff, so I'm really close, but it's like one of those things I haven't had the time to like execute on. I'm hoping this next year I can execute on it. It takes around 7 to 8 gallons. Yeah, see, that's what I mean, Vix. It's like hard to ask mom or dad or a friend or a family to like, because our plant collections aren't your typical like, hey, will you sit my plants? Like, it's like work, you know. So it's hard to ask people to do it, but my parents usually help. And then the other thing, the big key is, if you go on vacation and you have someone else watch your plants, you just got to go into it knowing that they're probably some are gonna die, and just like let that off of your soul, you know. Just acceptance, and it'll be okay. If it dies, it dies. They tried, you know. I've never been mad at my parents if something dies, because I realize I'm the one like putting them through the hard time, you know. And anything if they can even keep one alive, that's better than losing them all. So you get a good attitude and just hope for the best. I was ready to go to sleep. I noticed you're streaming. Big fan. I love your videos. Would like to see more updates like the terrarium. It doesn't matter if it ends. Oh, it failed. Yeah, I can do an update. That was one of those things that I just couldn't keep wet enough. I didn't have a mist set up, and that was when I was moving. So yeah, me too. Extreme. I want to get big. I honestly don't really care about being ripped. I just really want to be strong. Like, I want to be able to just pick up stuff like it's nothing. Oh, hey, so you grow, yeah, I've never tried to grow succulents from seed, Jenny. That sounds pretty fun. Other than, I mean, I guess that, what the heck were they called? What are those like tropical cactus that make fruit? Dragon fruit. That's the only thing I've grown from seed. It's not really a succulent, but it was fun. Yeah, so whoever, I can't see who asked about the vacation thing. I've never personally tried that self-watering stuff. I've heard about it, and I guess it works. You could definitely try that too. I would just fear that it can't keep up, but the best thing you can do is experiment now, so you're not like throwing something together at the very last minute and failing, you know? Do you steal succulent leaves from Home Depot? I'm always afraid of stealing. I stole some things when I was young and I got away with it. And I always feel like karma's gonna get me, so I always ask. I'm like a nervous wreck. Like if I go to the airport, I feel like I'm a criminal. Like I feel like I've done something wrong when I go through security. I'm probably like their like facial recognition software probably like sees me as a red flag because I look guilty even though I'm like doing nothing. So I don't like to steal because I just look guilty. I'm afraid they're gonna catch me, so I just ask. Most workers are just there. They don't care about the plants. It's not the succulents. Half the stores actually, those succulents aren't really even theirs. There's like suppliers who just bring a pallet. Those like you'll see them at like Home Depot and stuff. They'll just be like a pallet shelf thing full of succulents. A different company drops them off there, so they don't really care about them. So you just ask, they'll give them to you. Hey Jonathan Welch, thanks for you guys don't have to donate money. Just watching the videos is enough. This is not necessary. I really appreciate it, but don't waste your money on me, you know? Save it for a plant. Thanks to you, I'm obsessed with propagating pothos. Heck yeah. I'm a new plant collector and your videos have really inspired me. Please keep up the great work. Yeah, I'll keep trying to make cool videos for you guys. Propagating is like the most fun part about owning plants in my opinion. Like, how many hobbies are there where you can like multiply what you got for almost free? Besides some light, I mean, if you have a window, it's free. I mean, there's not many. It's pretty awesome. I just like splashed up my nose. Weird. But yeah, that was always the funny thing about high plant prices. It's like when I see these, and I'm not dogging on any other YouTubers or influencers who are talking about like investing, because there is some truth to investing in plants and making your money back. It's possible. But it's like you're investing in something that multiplies. Like the scarcity like becomes less. Like that's a very, very risky investment in my opinion. And I don't even know how I'm getting on this tangent because no one even asked about this, but usually if you're like going to invest into a plant to like resell and make some money, you're almost too late. It's like if it's already like on your radar, it's like you're already behind. By the time you get a decent setup to like resell, the prices are already starting to come down because someone else, the reason you're seeing it widespread is because someone else already did it. So, I mean, you can try it. You can be successful. It's not impossible, but investing in plants it's a risky business. Yeah, not stealing, but the broken leaves on the floor, I just pick them up. Yeah, like okay. I mean, honestly, I doubt they would even like, even if someone like caught you, I don't think anyone will do anything. You know, big box stores and find their dying plants and ask for a discount. Always get plants for super cheap. Yeah, that's a great way to get like good cheap plants because almost every plant store, even the good ones, have like dying plants. And if you know what you're doing, you can nurse them back. It's great. It's a good way to get like cheap plants. I'm all about cheap plants. What is that? Okay, yep, the Vix's thing with the whole putting some sphagnum moss on top, that's not a bad idea either. For like vacation, I'm thinking that's what it's about. It's just a leaf, not the whole plant. Yeah, you'd be surprised if you ask. Most people are nice enough to say yes. You might get one time someone denied me and I felt so stupid, but it was weird. There's no point in feeling stupid, but I ask just because I'm a nervous wreck. But yeah, I mean, I'm not going to judge you what you guys do. It's up to you. Great 500 videos, but you're really awesome. Thanks. Yeah. Yeah. Thanks for the compliment. I don't know how to. Yeah, all I can say is thank you. I appreciate it. These seeds are sure complicated to pot up. No, these seeds are easy. I don't know if I've made a video about this actually. Here, we can get a little closer, up close and personal now. So I think I've made a video about this, but I used to take each little seed. I think you can see this now. Maybe I'm too close. You squeeze them out, right? So there's our seed. So we got 2. Look at this. See, this has been, all right, this is what I'm talking about. This thing has been in a bag for at least a week, okay? This is a spadix. I just broke it off. You can usually tell they're ready because these seeds are like popping out. I wish this video was better. So if they can come out really easy, see I'm like just barely touching them and they're coming out, that means they're ready. Okay. If they're really in there, like you can see, this is hard. It's backwards for me. These ones are a little more in there, but they still come out with pretty much ease. That means they're ready. I have experimented with like plucking them out early, and I've still had success. But you don't want to get too early. Usually have patience and wait till they pop out. But this is what I want to show you. I don't know if this is going to work. You see that? It's going to be so hard. There's a little green nub. Can you see that green? It's already sprouting. It's germinating. So this one is already like doing its thing. It's crazy. They're kind of sticky. That's another problem with these things. They're really sticky. So we need a container. I did not plan for that. What was I thinking? So anyways, this is what I used to do. I used to take these seeds and squeeze them each out and like this mirror stuff and like wash them off really good because I was like really paranoid because a lot of other videos like they're really strict about like how you prepare your seeds. But I'm pretty sure I released videos, at least of Gracile. You can chuck this whole spadix. I was about to like hold it up. This whole spadix right in some sphagnum moss. It's going to rot, but the seedlings are all going to sprout. I don't know. They just don't care about the rotting. They just do their thing. I had like almost 100% success rate. I think. I can't quantify the numbers because I didn't count beforehand, but I'll show you. I can show you that. So where these seeds are stuck. Okay, this is bad. Well, not bad, but all right. Let me grab a bin quick. I want to show you something. All right, so this bin right here, there is a video. In fact, I remember now. I for sure have a video, and I just laid spadix, a whole spadix in here, the whole dang thing, berries and all, and they're all like doing great. You know, they're all like growing really well. There's algae, lots of algae in here, like rife with algae, but it doesn't matter. They don't care. They just do their thing. You know, it's great. So I mean, this is pretty good looking in here. Let's see if we can find an old spadix. The only thing I found that with these berries and like putting a full spadix in there is they're really densely, they grow together dense. You can, we'll use the top screen. You can kind of see this side is a lot denser, and maybe you can't tell. That's the side I put the spadixes in. I don't see any. Most of it rotted away. It's all gone. Oh, wait. Yeah, it's all gone. Another hot tip I got for you guys with Anthurium. So I used sphagnum moss a lot in the past, and then I used perlite, and eventually they always go yellow. You know, they start to get deficient. They don't do so hot. I literally just put some Osmocote in there, and it changed everything. It really made a difference. So sprinkle a little Osmocote either on your sphagnum moss or your perlite. It's gonna make the algae grow a little more. It seems like the nutrients like help that too, but your seedlings won't get that sickly yellow appearance. All right, so what's this berry of? Yeah, okay, we need to go back. I'm getting out of control here. I need like a robotic arm where I can be like slapped if you guys press a button so I can look back at chat. Stealing the leaves. I like to go to garden center. Find time. Yep. Okay, I was here. I was there. I want to get into home tissue culture. Yeah, I want to get into tissue culture too. It's just so cool. It's just the concept is great. You can do it at home with a pressure cooker and like a bin with some gloves glued to it. It's possible. And you probably looked into this, Jess. I'm imagining since you're talking about this, but maybe not. You know, back in the day, they used to just use like a pot of steam. So they would just have a big pot boiling on the stove, and they would take their little agar things and just hold it up, like steam sanitize, you know, quick flip it, put the stuff in there, seal it up. Not quite as like I said, but there are some pretty basic ways where they used to do this back in the day before they had the fancy stuff. So it's pretty possible at home. But it's not expensive, but it sucks if you mess up. And you can mess up without even realizing, and you just get mold. So I haven't got into it, but I would love to get into it. It's really cool. How many times I thought I was getting a good deal, then cost releases them months. Yeah, the cost of things. So Vic's Verdant, the cost of farms thing is so funny to me. I mean, I got caught up in some of the hype a little bit in the beginning because they released some cool plants, you know. But my favorite part is like the Facebook groups. I haven't been in these in a long time because it's just I haven't been buying plants. But you know, people are like clamoring to get these Costa Farm plants. Like, oh my God, like they would scoop them up and resell them for like 5-10 times the price. Like people would take a $20 pot and sell it for $100 or cut them up or something. And then like 2 weeks later, not even 2 weeks later, any Walmart, Home Depot, any big box store you'd go to, all those same plants that were going for like $100 are just like rotting away, like overwatered and rotting away, especially at Walmart. It was like the funniest thing because people would just clamor for these things. They had to have it. They'd pay anything. And people would like almost like ticket scalpers. They scoop them all up, sell them. 2 weeks later, trend is over. They're rotting away for nothing, you know. Clearance to $199. Like, it was like the funniest thing. But I got caught up in the hype too. It's easy to get caught up in the plant hype. There's some cool stuff out there, and like, I don't know, it's just a natural human experience. But it was always a funny thing to see. All right, let me get back to where the heck we are. You don't even need to pay for the phyto certificate to buy seeds. Growing them from both seeds, cheapest way for a lot of plants. Yeah, you know, I don't know how true that is about the seed thing. I've never tried doing seeds or anything through the mail. I did bring some through an airport once. One time, technically, it was illegal. I didn't really realize it. And the second time, I got a certificate from the airport for free. They just, like, gave me some document. I mean, the Chicago O'Hare, they didn't really know what to do with the document. It took them a while, but after, like, an hour, they figured it out. And they passed the seeds on, and I got to take them home. So it was pretty cool. For tissue culture, I have no idea. I'm assuming Jess and these guys and Jenny know more than me. I don't know much about phytosanitary stuff and what you need it for. Yeah, okay. Oh gosh, the comments there's a lot. So these aren't the super old ones, these berries, if we're talking about these berries. So for anyone who's like just tuning in, these are Anthurium berries. So these are from an Anthurium. Do I have I'm trying to think of which one this is. I didn't write it on the bag. Oh, I know what this one is. I'll show you what this one is. All right, so this one, I don't know if you can see. This is Wildenauii. So I showed this in my most recent video. Such an awesome plant. I mean, it's so stiff. Like, it's really rigid. Almost like, you know, you can get those like flamingo flower Anthuriums like in almost any big box store. It almost feels like those leaves. Pretty strong, sturdy, really cool growth pattern. And this spadix is from not this plant, but like a parent plant, which this cutting is from. My friend has this one. That's where I got the seeds from. So this species, but not this plant. So that's what these berries are. This one flowers like really a lot. Like there was probably like 5 or 6 spadix. You can see even in here I mixed them like some sort of psychopath. There's Vita Florium, or 2 different berries in here. We can sort them out. I know what they look like. But yeah, so we can just take these all out like so. And I think I'm just going to spread these over I don't think I'm going to split them out like I did. I mean, like, for new viewers, you can squeeze out the seeds. I wish I could show this so much better. All right, and you can squeeze them out. You can even rinse them. So if you're really worried about your seeds, put them in a water bottle, and you can, like, shake it vigorously with some water, like half filled, and all the pulp will come off and float, and you can pour off the pulp. I don't have a water bottle down here, but I think you understand the concept. So I would squish all the berries in like a bowl, or just keep squishing them and dumping them in the water bottle. Shake it vigorously, and the seeds sink, and the pulp floats. Pour it off. You can get perfectly clean seeds. I think I'm just gonna try with these since I've already grown some of these before. I'm gonna try just putting these straight in the perlite and seeing what happens. And maybe in like update streams we can check on them. Yeah, see, I like accidentally busted this one open. Beauty streamer, we gotta use the hand technique. See the green, that little green tip? It's already germinating, so I'm not worried about these at all. I'm just gonna chuck them in there and see what happens. All right, but maybe we can chuck them in like an actual like grid. Usually I just dump them in there and then I get like, it's not a very good way to use space, so maybe I will take the time for once. All right, let's get this set up with the perlite. We can do an experiment live. I don't want to knock these over. So these were some seedlings we potted up earlier, and I don't know where to put these at this point. You know, I did not think the logistics through when it comes to this. I'll get back to the questions in just 1 second here, guys. All right. Okay. So we got our perlite bucket back, and let me look at some comments here. We're gonna start placing berries in here. So if you didn't see this initially, I plucked a ton of seedlings out of this, of a different species, and we're gonna reuse the perlite. You can still see some old berries that never even like sprouted, or they're just rotting. Ew, gross. Anyways, I'll just brush that off on the floor. That's the nice thing about basement growing is you can get dirt everywhere. It doesn't matter. All right, let me just see what we got in the comments here. Are these older ones? I think they're like a week or two old. I'll show you the really old ones. What is this, a berry of? I just went over that, so that's good. The quality is great. Already, yeah, today I went to Home Depot. Coincidentally, the vendors were there, and they were discounting distressed plants. I got 4 huge peace lilies. Like, heck yeah. Peace lilies are so awesome. I really love them. I kill them every single time. I've had 3 of them now, and I always kill them. That's why I don't have a how to care for a peace lily video, because I don't know how. All right, you only need a phytocert when you import or export plants, okay? Do you have any experience with mounting a staghorn fern? No, I actually don't. I've never mounted one. I love it, though. I think a houseplant journal or something, that guy, Daryl, he's a pretty cool guy. I had never talked to him personally, but I really like his attitude compared to most YouTubers. I like his attitude. His attitude is really cool. He's very relaxed, you know. He's not like hypercritical about plants. He does a good job. I think he has a mounting video or something, or he's done it in the past, but he's got some cool stuff. I want to, but I haven't found a big enough one worth mounting. I think they're awesome, but I also don't think I have the humidity for one. I don't know. I have one growing, but it's really small and doesn't have like the shield or whatever growing yet. It's just kind of like leaves. So I bet that made your day, Nardy. Yeah, heck yeah. Getting plants for cheap is awesome. I really enjoy your channel. Your content is very interesting. I enjoy that you give updates in the same video. Oh yeah, thanks for the kind words. Yeah, I mean, I always dislike when I click a video on doing something and like there's no like actual footage like showing me that it works. Like that's why I started making the videos I make, because I think you need to like see like the beginning, the middle, and the end. Like what's the point otherwise? Let's see, where else are we? Gotcha, Jenny. Thanks for clarification. Yeah, pomegranate seeds. I would love to eat one of these. I've heard you can eat them, but like I actually thought about trying to make some like clickbait thing, like, oh, I'm eating Anthurium berries, but my biggest fear is like I have an allergic reaction and I die to like make $7 off of like a clickbait video. You know what I mean? Like it isn't worth like dying for. But I'm pretty sure you can eat them. But I'm not gonna try it. All right, yeah, Jenny, if you get into TC, hit me up. Teach me how to do it. Or if any of you do it, I have a book about it. I just haven't had time to read. Screenshot it. Yep. Getting late for me. I had fun watching your live stream, even with the visit. Yeah, the visit to the Matrix. Hopefully we never go back there again. Thanks for tuning in, Gwen. Have a good night. I appreciate it. I hope you're probably gone by now since I'm taking so long, but I appreciate the support. Thanks for watching. Do you know of any resources that show some of the known Anthurium crossing capabilities? You know, I should really put together a document or like a Google Drive thing or something, because like I was saying earlier, there's like an Anthurium enthusiast group on Facebook. It's run by like, I think they're like IAS board members or something. I think something Sid Harth, I forget his name. He's very knowledgeable. All right, so what I'm doing for people watching, I'm just gonna squeeze these berries out and kind of put them in the perlite. I might leave some. You can't really see from that. This is the hard part, is they stick. Yeah, I can't even get them off my fingers. See this? This is why I like to put them in a water bottle and just like squirt them in there. All right, we're done squeezing them. We're just gonna place them in and see what happens. And we're gonna try and do like a grid format, because that way they don't take up as much space. Because if you saw earlier in the stream, I had like a big bald patch. You know, there was no plants. Total waste of space. So we're gonna be conscious of what we're doing here, putting some thought behind it. So I'm just gonna put the berries in all. These seeds will sprout. I've done it with a few species now, and I'm pretty confident that this will work. And if it doesn't, well, we learned a valuable lesson. Don't put the berries in. Someone asked me earlier where I learned about how to take care of plants, and this is exactly it. Some lessons are more expensive than others. But I got these seeds for free, so we can experiment. All right, what else we got here? Do you have a seller you suggest for Anthurium seeds? I don't. Like I said, most of my seeds I get from a friend. I trade plants with them, and it sucks now because it's winter, so it's like anybody you buy seeds from, they're probably gonna mail it in like a little envelope and it'll just freeze. So I don't know what to say about that, but I would just like troll like the Facebook groups, see if people are selling it. There's almost always somebody selling seeds. The only issue is they're always like kind of expensive. Like they're not much cheaper than like the actual plant, which is surprising. Or they're like hybrids. And I've got all kinds of opinions, and maybe they're wrong about like selling seeds, but so many people are just like selling hybrid of this, and you really don't know. You know, you don't know what you got, especially a seed. They could have self-pollinated. You know, who knows? It's kind of a weird risk to take, but why I think it's an issue is they like tell you it's a special hybrid, and then they charge you like a ton of money. And it's like you don't actually know. So I don't like that. But yeah, I don't really have any reliable sources for seeds. Maybe one day, you know, if I get to where I want to be, which this is probably a year or two away, because this takes a while, especially if you're a basement grower. But if you saw my previous video, I have a lot of Magnificum, I have a lot of seedlings, and I'm going to keep them. I'm not selling them. I mean, I trade some. I will trade some away. But I want to have like 10 Magnificum so I can collect a lot of seeds, you know? And I have pollen on hand. Like that's like my goal. So I mean, I've made promises in the past about selling plants and stuff, and I never came to fruition just because I didn't have time or whatever. But maybe eventually I can have a lot of seeds and sell them, and I will sell them cheap. You get so many, like there's so many seeds, especially like the Vita Florium, or honestly, I should have a piece of paper here with how to pronounce it. That thing will flower like constantly. A lot of these flower constantly. My red crystallinum. As soon as one flower is done, a new flower is already coming. Like once they're mature, they flower a lot. So as long as you can successfully pollinate and you have pollen on hand, you can produce a crap ton of berries. Like I don't think there's a real good reason for why it's so expensive, other than there's just not enough in the market and people can charge what they want. But like how many berries have I planted here? Like let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Looks like about 10 by 1, 2. There's 60 berries right here. One spadix, 60 berries. One spadix, 60 berries. That's crazy. I got a whole nother one in a bag. I mean, like, we're talking 120 berries. And so I don't know if you can see in the video. I'll try it. This one doesn't seem that big, but see, I got this little straggler. One seed, and you can't see the second one. That one's not mature enough. Here. Let's try this one. Let me get this off. Ugh. They're so sticky. It's like, there. Let's see what comes out of this one, all right? Sorry, it's mirrored for me. 2. See that? Look at that. 2 seeds come out. So 2 seeds per berry. Can you even see that? I need a better setup. The new setup will have a macro lens, and we can, like, see it. Sometimes you just got to flick them off. Just flick them off. So there's like 120 berries here, and they don't always have 2 seeds, but probably 50%. So I don't know. We're looking at like 180 seedlings that we could potentially have. Like, I don't know. People sell seeds for a lot of money. That's just a tangent. So we got this planted pretty good over here. Let's get the other. I got some more here, and I got some of these here. Let's try and sort this out. I think these 3 are like some Vita. There was a space with like 4 berries, and it didn't pollinate well. Let's look at comments here. I'm getting behind. Holy cats. I'm not very good at these. Yeah, Anthurium berries. Yep, I have the same exact bins. Yeah, Jess, there's not a lot of good stuff on YouTube. There's very little, actually. I think you could learn a lot from, like, the mushroom growers. There's a lot of... It seems to be a lot of mushroom growers on YouTube compared to tissue culture, but the concept is almost the same. Very similar as far as like the sterilization, setting things up. I mean, obviously you're using agar instead of like, I don't know how you pronounce agar, but that it's like some paste instead of like some carbon source, but they're pretty similar. What else we got here? Oh yeah, so I went off on a tangent. This is something I'm gonna have to work on with these live streams. I'm not used to just like saying things, so I'm sorry, but resources. I'll get some resources together. I've seen some in those Facebook groups. There's some pretty good, like, it's not like a family tree. I don't know the proper term for it, but there's like a tree of Anthuriums and like where they sit on like the genetic line. And oops, I didn't mean to hit the mic. And like kind of where you can find crosses, but even then, I don't think it's very exact, and you can get lucky with stuff. You just got to try. I mean, luckily, you're not really risking anything. If it doesn't work, it just doesn't work. You just put some pollen on there and see what happens. Okay, so yeah. So Vix just mentioned the whole mushroom culture thing too, yeah. Yeah, I'm just streaming words. This is really a stream. It's true. Peace lilies are the most dramatic plant. Yeah, I just kill them. I licked the Anthurium berry, just green bell pepper. Oh, really? No, I'm curious, but I'm not going to do it. I'm telling you, my luck, I'll just die. I'll be the first person to die on live stream. I don't want to. I'd really like to grow mushrooms. Me too. I love mushrooms. I love cooking with them, and it'd just be nice to get fresh ones. But it's kind of a lot. It's a lot of work. Here's an academic journal with some info on Anthuriums you can cross. Have you ever tried growing Hoya seeds? No. I think I just put dirt in my mouth. Haven't even grown that many Hoyas. I showed them earlier. I've got maybe 5 species. I really like Hoyas. I think they're really cool. I just don't have the focus for them. Like I'm already like, I've got a lot of plants. You know, it's hard to keep expanding into different like types of plants. It's tough. Right now, Anthuriums and Philodendron and some Monstera is like my main focus. I do have some random one-offs, but the Hoyas, there's so many cool Hoyas that you can really get like too much into them. Same with like begonias. I follow a few people on Instagram, and their begonia, I think, what's her name? Like Betsy Begonia and the Silence of Growing things, maybe? Silence of Growing. I forget their names exactly, but they post these insane begonia pictures. There's so many like metallic. The variety is insane. I would love to collect those too, but they seem so fussy. It's too much. But I love how they look. They're really cool. Where else? Seeds are dope. Have you tried growing? No, okay. Yeah, good luck, country girl. Good luck with your seeds. I hope they grow well for you. You know, I'm sure it'd be really cool to see them. Yeah, Anthuriums are wild. They are pretty awesome. I have a Pallitiflorum. Longleaf Anthurium are amazing. Yep, I love Artie Nardi. I love strap leaf ones. I got one that was decent from Echo Genera, and I killed it. It like just rotted out and died. I have one young one that's doing okay, but it doesn't have a long strap leaf yet. My hot photo here. What is this? How do I ban these people? I hate this. I get like these like, I don't even know if I can say the word on a stream without getting flagged, but like adult rated like comments all the time. Remove. Uh-oh. I removed the wrong message. Oh my God. All right, Ivan, I'm really sorry. I don't know how to undo that. No. Dang it. All right, Ivan, you're going to have to repost what you did. I clicked the way my chat's laid out, I couldn't see. I'm really sorry. Thank God I didn't report. That would have been really embarrassing. Report a person coming to watch the stream. All right, this last one should do it. Put user in timeout. Timeout. All right, there we go. Okay, have you tried growing phyllo seeds? Have I tried? I don't think so. The thing I've seen some philodendron seeds like online, and the big issue I'm seeing with them is they're really small, and that kind of scares me because it's like I feel like they're more fragile. Hey, Violent Moon, hello, fellow Midwestern. You can understand my terrible accent. Yeah, like I was saying earlier, John, I don't know if I saw you early on in the stream, but I don't know if you've been here the whole time. I think the philodendron seedlings and stuff are going to be the next big thing because everyone's doing Anthurium seeds right now. So I'm starting to see more content of people trying philodendron stuff. So I think we're going to see a lot more of that, and I'm excited. Moa, I can't read from here. I got to get a different setup here. Moa Nilsson, hi, hello from Sweden. Hey, how's it going over there? It's probably pretty cold for you, I would imagine. You must be like a basement grower like me because you don't get enough sunny days. This is Surly CGI and BFX. This can't be real. Live event with the... Now, this is real. This is a real stream. It's a little chaotic, but it's real. What's your background? How did you get into plants? I think you know, when I was like growing up, my mom had a lot of plants in her house, and I always liked playing with them. You know, like putting Legos in them. I don't know. I just like imagining their forests and stuff, and just my dad's like a really big hunter, so he's always taking me out into the woods and stuff. And like I've just had like a very natural background, like playing in the woods a lot, doing stuff like that. So I've always appreciated like growing things, I guess. And wow, when I was younger, I tried to do like hydroponics and stuff. I really love that whole like, what is it really? Is it still cut out? Hello. Let me know if the mic is still out. Oh gosh, I was like, the stream shows it's going, so I don't know how to I don't know how to fix this. All right, good. I'm glad that it's not out. Good. So, yeah, I tried to do a lot of hydroponic stuff when I was younger, like a teenager, but I was like working at an ice rink making like $7 an hour, so I didn't have the money for like lights, because I'm sure you guys, some of you have been growing plants for a long time, and like for me, it's always indoor. I don't really have space for outdoor. I was living with my parents for a long time. And even in this house, I just don't have a good place for it outside, so it's all artificial lighting. And back then, like, there wasn't these LED lights like we have today. It was all like, I don't know the exact name. What is it, like HID lights, or really big, expensive stuff that need this big ballast. They create a ton of heat. You're talking like $1,000 for like these super lights. It was ridiculous. I mean, yeah, there was fluorescent light bulbs, but I never felt like I got enough like oomph out of them. HPS, yeah, that's it. It was too expensive for me to like properly light my setups, and they always failed. Once I got like a slightly better job, I can afford it, and I don't know. I like plants. I like fish. I like catching animals. Like, I think it all kind of goes together. So yeah, I mean, and then this channel kind of helped really propel me into it, because like I don't know if you know what my first few videos are, but they're like one's like how to grow an avocado, and like, or a lemon tree. It wasn't really aeroid stuff. Aeroids were, I didn't even realize like what it really was. All right, so here, this Spadex has pretty much lost most of its berries in this bag. This sucks. I should have addressed this sooner. They were all on there pretty good when I put them in the bag, because there's 2 different Spadex in here, 2 different species. I made a grave mistake. I shouldn't have done that. But we're gonna try and separate this, because the red are the Vita florum, and the purple. So this is all the Vitar Efolium or whatever. Their Spadex is pretty long. So here's our purple guy, but they're all mushed in there. It looks so gross. They're all mushed in there, It's kind of, well, we're just gonna have a mixed bag here. I'm gonna start condensing these at this point. I'm running out of space in this bin already. There's more berries than I expected, so we're just gonna drop them in, see what happens. Probably not like I just said earlier, we should take the time to place them properly, but time is, oh, here, you can see that. Can you see the green? You can't see anything. I hate this. How can I get it in the light? Whatever. They're already sprouting. These things are literally already sprouting, so I'm not too worried about it. Remember, you gotta do like the Anthurium seed flick, because they're on there. They really want to stick like glue. And they flip on the other side. Alright, that one's done. Alright, we're just mixing them. This is a mixed bag. Well, we'll at least try and get the Vita florum over here. We'll try and separate the best we can, because I have a general idea that these ones rotted much sooner. Not rotted, but the berries are, if you can see, the berries have already kind of like soured, The seeds are really prevalent here. Can you kind of see how it's like mushy? The bag makes it tough. I'll just grab it. I'll scoop it. Ew, gross. Alright, so this is actually pretty gross. This is like PG-13 at this point. It's like gross. I don't know. This mirror stuff. It's all goopy, so we'll just flick it. Just flick it in there. There, you can't really see it. Mix them up a bit. There we go. Good enough. We got some berries in here we can scoop off. I mean, the cool thing is we can this will be a bin we can keep up with on the live streams if I keep doing this, Alright. And then we got some final seeds here we'll just scoop out. The good thing about these seedlings is they're very different. So I'll be able to tell the difference really fast. So I'm not too worried about mixing them up at this point. I know for the most part the Vitara folium, whatever. You know what I'm saying. It's a strap leaf. You can look it up. Oh god, we got seeds flying everywhere. But they look different, so I'm not worried about mixing them up. I think there's some left in here from a different time. And then we'll get to the Gracile, because the Gracile are the next ones. Alright, good enough. Ay. Let's look at the comments. These things are like, honestly, like wood ticks or something. They just like find a way to stick to you. I hate them. Ay. Help me. The seeds have gotten a hold of me. Call it the ambulance. Alright, let's see comments. What do we got going on here? Mini heart attack. I can hear you. Okay, yeah, now it's back. Got him with that. Yeah, you guys tricked me. Sir, I have to ask you a favor. Since you reach people, please promote Physalis growing. What is that? I gotta look that plant up. This isn't like a prank or something, right? Alright, maybe 1 or 2 seeds is on my shorts at this point, but that's just the price we pay here. Alright, let's see what this plant is. Oh, you know what? Actually, I've seen these, like, they almost grow like a weed. At least around here. Every once in a while I've seen one. This is actually a pretty funny story. So, my brother-in-law, actually, he started gardening this past year. And he planted, like, bell peppers, you know? And one of these, like, he's in Georgia. So one of these, like, sprouted up. And if you haven't really grown vegetables before, when it's really young, it looks, you can't see what I'm seeing. I'm sorry. You're going to have to Google this thing. It's called, like, the common name, it's called a ground cherry, I guess. I'm looking it up. But they produce, like, a pepper. It looks like a pepper, the structure. But it's, like, more of, like, a leaf thing, and it opens up, and there's more of, like, a berry inside. But, yeah, so he thought he had his peppers. He's like, these aren't looking, like, right, you know? And he grew it really big because it looked like a pepper. Because I think the squirrels, like, killed the original plant or something. And it was just kind of, like, funny to, like, he, like, took care of it really well. And it looked fabulous. But it ended up not actually being a pepper plant, you know? Because they look like peppers. It's really funny. It's a cool plant. I agree with who posted that. Let me pull up the comments here. I kind of lost it. Where are we? Yeah. Okay, maybe I was looking at the wrong one. But let me look up this one. Because I just Googled the first thing. So let me Google the one that you posted most recently here. Oh god, I can't hit the enter key. 1 sec. Ooh. Yeah, okay. So there's a few different types I see. Yeah, they're neat. I think they're really pretty and like almost ornamental, you know? Like they're a very decorative looking plant. That's cool. I don't know if you can eat them. Can you eat them? I can't see from where I'm looking, so. But yeah, they're neat. I like them. I should try and grow one. They would look cool. Looks like a nerd's rope. Yeah, no kidding. They really do look like a nerd's rope. I don't know if I'd want to take a bite of it, though. All right, let's see where we're at. Oh, yummy. I've never heard of... Okay, so cool. I'm glad you brought up this plant because it seems like other people didn't know about it. And so they're... I mean, it's always cool to learn about new plants. All right, guys. This was a good day to end my day. Another... Awesome. Yeah, thanks for stopping by, Jess. It was a lot of fun. Well, hopefully we'll see you on the next stream. I can't pronounce this. So, Stefano, I'm not sure. I don't have, like, a translator to translate, so I'm not sure what you said, but I appreciate you being here. Same, I too started with fruit. Yeah, I know what you mean already. Like, the Monstera, honestly, I think got most people into plants. The Monstera deliciosa, even though it's like a plant everyone has, it's such an awesome plant. It's so cool. It gets so big. It changes so much. It's a plant I would recommend for every single person to own. It's such a cool plant. Even though everyone has one, it doesn't take away from it. It's so cool. All right, I think this bin is like good enough for berries. We'll just close it up and see what happens. Maybe I'm gonna pop some of them, just because you might as well try a few different methods here. So I'm just grinding them up in the perlite, pushing them in a little bit too. Uh-oh. All right. We got too many seeds here. You got to kind of watch for clumps. Not a big deal, but they're kind of fighting for root space. All right, so once you got it set up like this, I mean, that's really all I do for Anthurium berries. I put a lid on it. I'll show you another bin here quick. Maybe we'll process some more seeds. Alright, put this on. And so, just to be clear, because usually I'm not very clear about this kind of stuff. Everything is under grow lights. So people often will ask like how I grow this stuff. It's all under grow lights. Everything's artificial light. So this thing will be under grow lights for like 12 hours a day. And it stays warm under them too, you know. All right, let me see. What are we gonna do about this like pile of goop? All right, so we have some more. This is the really rotten ones. I'll show you. I got some. I'll take care of those later. What is this? We'll take care of the goop. And this time we'll do a different. We're gonna do something different. All right, hold on. I think I gotta check something quick here. Ooh. Give me 1 second, guys. I think my wife might be trying to get a hold of me. I'm gonna have to step away for like 1 second. I heard my wife like, I don't know. I mean, if you guys leave, you leave. I can't keep you here, but I'll be back in like a minute. So give me 1 second. Okay. All right, I'm back. I got another supply here because I don't know if anyone's still here, but I will show you the other technique. Let's see how the comments are doing. All right, ground cherry. Yep, okay, eaten those before. Okay, so you can eat them. That's pretty cool. Love strappy anthuriums. Yeah, they're honestly my favorite. They're what first drew me into anthuriums. Just the long leaves are crazy looking. The amount of monsteras I have propagated and have it is wild. Yeah, well, they're so awesome. I mean, they're such an awesome plant. So you can never have enough. Looking forward to see them grow. Yeah, so I'll definitely, I think we're going to keep doing streams. I don't know how often, but we'll be able to keep updates on it and everything. Do you just dampen the perlite? Yeah, okay, I did not talk about that. I should have mentioned that. That perlite is already wet. So you got to keep it wet. I mean, you don't want like an inch of water at the bottom, but you want the perlite wet. So it's wet. You probably couldn't see it in the video, and I didn't show you dump any water, so that was actually a really good question to point out. I feel bad for anyone that like is already gone and doesn't know that. But yeah, you got to get it wet. It cannot be dry. Yeah, thanks. Good husband and father. Yeah, she's like, it's getting kind of late, you know. But it is. I'll probably wrap the stream up in like, maybe we'll just do like another half hour because it's like already 12 o'clock for me. A container garden mine. It's getting bigger. Anything else? Yep. We're here. All right, cool. Wife over stream. Yeah, I mean, she's just let me know what time it was. It's not like we're ending the stream or anything. All right, so we got these really rotten seeds. This will probably be like the last little segment we'll do. Yeah, these are like extremely bad. So I've neglected these for almost 3 weeks. I wonder if we can see any sprouting. Hard to say. It smells like It smells fermented. It's actually pretty interesting. Let's get the thing a little closer here. So it looks pretty nasty, right? I mean, you can really see it's pretty gross. Can I get it a little brighter here? Let's see. Let me see if I can find some that are sprouted. All right, I did find some. So this stuff is like beyond rotten, okay? Like it's like wet. It's gross. But I bet you. Yep. So look at this. I mean, I always say look at this, but you can't even see it because this is like the worst setup. Come on, come on. Where's my the mirror? I'm like so. I wonder if like a magnifying glass would work, or like how can I show you this? Maybe on this. Here's our last ditch effort plan. This is really gonna be far-fetched here. Let me see if I can find that. Oh, here we go. I got a good one. Really good one. This is a great example. You'll be able to see this, I think. All right. How do we do this now? Where's the green one? There's a green one in here somewhere. It's really hard to make out the green, but it's like, can you see that green? It's right off the tip. There's like the goop on the front. Look at that white balance going crazy. I need something to point here. I've got a scissors. I got to make sure you can see this. I'll get a better setup, I promise. So the tip of the scissors, you can't see it. There's green. It's completely sprouting. Basically the non-brown part. And it's rotting. I mean, this stuff is disgusting, but it's sprouting. So my point is, you really don't have to be that careful with these Anthurium seedlings. They rot and they're fine, you know? I think in nature what happens, because like I've seen when my friend doesn't collect the spadix, they just leave them. They just fall off, you know? They get weak and they fall. The weight of either the berries fall to the ground or the spadix falls. And so what do they do on the ground? They just disintegrate and sprout, you know? Or a bird probably eats them. I mean, I don't know how they proliferate or how they like spread in real life, but I'm sure it's something like that. Yeah, I'm sorry that you guys can barely see it. So I flipped the camera for you guys actually because it seemed weird to like my hands would come from like above and I thought that was awkward. So I flipped it for you guys, but maybe I should just flip it back so I can like make sense of the world, you know? I don't know. All right, so let me show you the other technique. This is like definitely the safest approach. If you don't want to, say you made your first hybrid, or this is your first time growing seeds and you paid for them, right? I mean, that makes a big difference. If you paid for them, these are so rotten. They actually smell. They've been in the bag too long. But I will show you. So I'm just gonna, there's some on this paper towel I'm scraping off into this water bottle. These have been in here for 3 weeks in a bag, not opened, just closed in a bag, getting all anaerobic and gross. Here, see them in that mushy pile? Don't do this, guys. Don't let your seeds get this bad. Even though it's salvageable, it's not worth the effort. It's just gross. But you know, guys, I did this on purpose so I can teach you how to handle rotten berries, you know? This wasn't my laziness. Yeah, even these are sprouting. These, like, it's disgusting, but they're sprouting. All right, so put them in the water bottle, right? Slime and all. Gross. All right. Now, if I could not fall out of my chair. I need a little more water. So add some more water here. Maybe halfway. I think the only mistake you can make here is if your like tap water is like heavily chlorinated, that might cause problems. I don't know. Maybe try it. All right. And I just shake them vigorously, and it's hard to see, but you can see at least all the pulp here. Actually, the pulp is so rotten, it's like settling. We need to dump this into something. I didn't think this far through. All right, so I'm getting water everywhere. All right, so now that it's like, now you can kind of pour it off, and you just watch. And once you see the seeds start coming, you stop pouring. And we'll investigate here. But I'm pretty sure. Yeah, so this is all pulp. I mean, there's 0 seeds in there. Well, maybe there's 1. I don't see any. Let me look from below. Yeah, okay. So 0 seeds. So that's what I mean. Shake the water bottle. All the pulp floats up to the top. As long as it's, you don't let it settle. Once you let it settle, it'll get worse. But you can't really see. But the seeds are starting to settle. We'll just dump that right into the potting mix. Keep it wet. Any new comments? All right. Sorry, I am Germanoid, so I talk meters, not yards and inches. Yeah, no big deal. I kind of got an idea. I mean, a yard is a meter. So if you, for the most part, if you know how big a yard is, you know how big a meter is, vice versa, and then you can reduce it from there. Since you work with a lot of seeds, have you... Okay, so I actually had one Anthurium that was like an albo or variegated, and I got like 3 good leaves, 4 good leaves. I started filming it, and then one day I killed it. It's kind of sad because it would have been cool. It was even a strap leaf one. I've been seeing quite a few of them though. It seems like Vitaflorium or whatever, whatever. I'm gonna get a poster with all the pronunciations for next stream. There's a lot of variegated ones popping up. Must be pretty common in the seeds, but they're hard to raise. They're very fragile. And they don't grow very fast because they don't have a lot of chlorophyll. So they're cool, but hard to grow. Lazy experiment, all part of the plan. Yeah, exactly. It's all part of the plan. So let me add a little more water, and then we'll get some pulp, and then I'll show you our like finished product here. Honestly, if I were you guys, and you have the time, and these are maybe your first seeds, or your first hybrid or something that is of extreme importance, this method's the best method. You'll have nice clean seeds. You won't invite rot into your setup. And you'll have, I would say, guaranteed germination. I'm still very confident that everything you've seen me do so far will germinate, but you never know. All of a sudden some weird bacteria or something could get in there and you lose them, so don't follow the lazy way until you're like pretty confident, or you know your own setup, you know. Then go ahead and do what I'm doing. But until then, take the time to clean your seeds like this. This is how I would recommend it. It's tedious, but it works. All right, I think this will be my last pour, and the rest we're just going to count as our seeds. You probably can't even see this. I'm just slightly pouring and just watching like the stuff come off. But you might be able to see the seeds are starting to build up. So I'll dump. There is one seed in here, so I'm going to try not to lose it. Come here, little seed. All right, whatever. It's in the potting mix. It might grow. All right, now we just need to get these out. So the problem is with these water bottles is like, this would probably work really well in like a reusable water bottle, like one without all these like ridges, because they kind of get caught in there. So you have to use a little water to get them out. There's a little finessing. So you kind of work them. Make sure you don't lose any. All right. I keep forgetting to put it in the camera. Sorry guys. Like I said, next time better setup. And as I get less clumsy with how to stream, it'll be better. But you should be able to see our finished product is a whole bunch of seeds, right? So they really processed well. I mean, there is still some stuff like this, whatever that is. But for the most part, we have some pretty darn clean seeds. And we saw that rot. Now, this is probably not going to work the way I want it to work, but let's try it. Oh, Jesus. Please focus. No. Well, you can't see it, but there's green. There's almost every seed is green tipped. So they're going to make it. They've been rotting in that bag for 3 weeks. And I mean rotting. It's like, stinks. Doesn't smell good. So it's definitely like anaerobic, like the worst conditions you can ask for. The seeds are resilient, so if you ever get them in the mail and they look bad, I wouldn't panic too much, and I would not give up. Definitely go through with it and plant your seeds, because they're doing pretty good. I want to see if there's a good sprouted one here. All right, let's try. All right, I know this is such a waste of effort, but we're gonna do it anyways. Come on, you punk, just focus. Yeah, you can't see it, but there's green tips. There's green tips on all of them. You know what? This is stupid. But it just might work. Hold on. I wonder if I can, like, take a picture. All right. If this works, I will laugh. Well, I won't laugh. I'll actually be happy. All right, please tell me you can see this a little better. All right, you can at least see there's a different color on the tip. It's green. It doesn't look green, but I promise you it's green. But yeah, I mean it's pretty. Oh, here we go. I got even better plan. All right, you see that little bit of green in my nasty little nails? I'm sorry to even like harm your eyes with my fingertips because they're ugly, but you can see green for sure at this point. So even though they're rotting away, they're all fertile and ready to go. All right, let's see some comments. So I feel at least this stream, I've shown you some, at least what I went out to show you is the seeds, prepping seeds. So I'm glad we got through it all, even though it was chaotic. Let's see what else is going on. Thoughts on growing cannabis seeds as a houseplant? So when I was really young, I grew cannabis in a closet once. It was cool. I don't smoke or anything anymore. It's been probably 7 years. I don't have anything against it. I just stopped doing it. I don't know. But I did grow it in a closet. The cool thing about growing cannabis, I don't know if this is like gonna flag the channel, so maybe I shouldn't talk about this. But devil's lettuce, the cool thing about growing the devil's lettuce is you grow it on a time. I forget what the timing is. I think you start on like 15-hour days, maybe 18-hour days. You keep the light on 18 hours a day or 15 hours a day, some certain period, and you just grow vegetation. You get the plant as big as you want to get it, and once it's at like your preferred size, you change the light cycle. You trick it into thinking like fall is coming, and as soon as you change that light cycle to like 10 hours or 8-hour days instead of your full 16, it'll start to like flower and produce like the devil's lettuce. So it was a really fun experiment. I did it in the closet. In fact, I won't go into it, but it was interesting. If it's legal in your state, you can try it. It's whatever, up to you. I don't really have a strong opinion about it, but it was fun. But yeah, I'm sure you can do it as a houseplant, but the problem is it's going to flower eventually. I don't know if you can like keep it in a vegetative state forever. I think you'd end up accidentally sending it to flower and then it would just be done. So, but you can always clone it, just like tomatoes. The cool thing about like cannabis and stuff, or devil's lettuce, because I don't want this thing to get like banned, but they all really pushed the LED technology. Like all us indoor plant growers should be thankful to the devil's lettuce growers because of that demand for like these like covert op grows like in people's basements and stuff. There was a market for LED lights, and the only reason why we have cool LED light technology, in my opinion, for the consumer is because of all the people growing that stuff. So even if you don't like cannabis or you have opinions about it, there at least is something cool, like where they basically brought LED lights into the mainstream. At least that's my opinion about it. It was pretty cool that they did that. I'm missing out on comments here. But yeah, I mean, it's a fun plant to grow. I definitely wouldn't risk your... I mean, it's up to you, but since it's illegal here, I'm not even going to mess with it. I don't want to go to jail. All right, what's next? Bad habit of producing my own juice, pomegranate, passion fruit. Bad habit of producing your own juice. Sounds like a great habit. Oh, I see. When I'm done, I just throw the seeds in some soil. Yeah, that's awesome. There's not a bad habit. Mr. Ed, that's a great habit. It's fun. Do they need to be pollinated to produce berries? Or do they produce them on... They have to be pollinated. Some will self-pollinate. So, like, Anthurium gracile is, like, insane. That thing will just produce berries on its own. It will just constantly, like, if you look at my previous video, I'm not trying to shill it to get some views, but there's some very small seedlings that have flowers and berries. They have like only 4 or 5 berries, but it's crazy. It can produce its own. God, the smell of this like rotting stuff is like getting to me. Hold on. All right, it's at least out of my nose. I'll take care of that later. But yeah, you have to pollinate them usually. Some self-pollinate, but usually you have to pollinate them. And I have some that are pretty ready, almost ready for that, and I'll make a dedicated video for like how to know when it's ready and when to pollinate. So that's coming up. All right, what else am I missing? On my balcony, I have tons of bumblebees, but they don't know what to do with them. Honestly, I assume they self-pollinate. Yeah, who knows? Thoughts on growing? Okay. Could be interesting. Yeah, okay, so Vix, I've done stuff with the strainers and whatnot. I think you basically mentioned what I just did. I mean, I'm behind on chat, obviously, but adding a little more water to the bottle to get them out quick. I've tried a strainer, but they're so sticky at times that getting them off the strainer, you have to push, and you can, like, grate them, like, almost like you mush them, basically, into the strainer. So I didn't really care for the strainer. Just get the bottle, get it going, and quick throw it in. It works pretty well. Drain through a mesh strainer. Okay. I keep them in a bin until they get a few leaves. I'll get a bin out with some young seedlings. I'll show you. This has been great. Okay, so the 12 hours of light. That's what it was. I did this so long ago. It was cool. It was like whatever. It was a box. It was like stealth box. It was neat. But there's auto blooms. Yeah, so I've never done that. It was seeds I got from a bag. They weren't even like good genetics. But anyways, holy cow. Thanks, Anders. All right. I don't know if I'm gonna put Anders on the spot here. I don't even know why you'd give me money. I'm actually in debt to Anders. Okay. The Tech Plant logo is from Anders. Oops, I didn't mean to hit the mic. Anders Viking made the Tech Plant logo, okay? He made the Tech Plant logo. He's a really awesome friend of mine from Minecraft from many years ago, and I don't know why you're giving me money because I still owe you for just how awesome the logo's been. So shout out to Anders for the freaking awesome logo, and thanks for the money. You don't have to give anything. I don't need it. Your support and viewership is all I need. So that was very unnecessary. And I feel like I should just like buy you a Steam game now because I still feel in debt to you for the logo. But so Ryan's asking if I've ever grown Hoya from seed. Never. I've never even seen Hoya seeds. Mine have never even bloomed. So if someone has seeds or sends them to me, I'll try it. But yeah. Yeah, thanks, Anders. I don't know why you're doing that. Weak ass super paper towel. Yeah, so I mean, some Anthurium seeds are a little bigger too, so it might not be so bad. But the other thing too is if you leave them rot like I do, they're a little bit softer because they've been kind of like sitting and fermenting, and they can get squished, you know. Yeah, go Anders. Seriously, that Tech Plant logo, I love it. It's so awesome. He made that years ago. How cool, hey? I'm gonna get the bin with the other seedlings to kind of give you an idea of like when I transplant, and then I think we'll end the stream in like 10 minutes here. I gotta get to bed. I mean, I don't have work tomorrow, but I'm sure my wife would like to go to sleep. All right. I got so much crap piling up here for the stream. Like, I keep bringing bins and I can't put them back. Oh, we have to address this. We'll get to this in a second. We can't go to bed until we do that. By the way, the stream setup is so, like, I have 2, like, horses, like, for, like, wood. I don't know if you know what a horse is, or maybe you don't even call them a horse. I don't know what they're called. It's a V-shaped thing, and you can lay wood across for cutting with a saw. But I have that with a tabletop on it. This setup is, like, not conducive, but it's working for the first stream. All right, so I told you I'd show you some bins when I like this repot. I would say a lot of these are pretty darn close. Like, once they got 2 or 3 leaves in here, they're pretty ready. I mean, look at the size of this guy. He's huge. Here, I think this is a hybrid of some kind. Before I went to Korea, I think I stuffed it in here and put it in here. I don't know what it is, but we'll see. I think it's definitely crystallina or magnificum. You can't see in the footage, but there's that ever so slightly stripe that's starting to form. But yeah, these are those like rare ones that aren't very prevalent. My favorite, because Look at the blue color. I mean, can you actually see that? Let me give you some perspective. All right, this is kind of weird, but I just have a random pothos leaf on the ground. But you can see the difference. Like, see how much more green this is compared to that really blue color, that icy blue color. Like, I don't know. I wish they kept this color. Sadly, they lose it and they become more green. But it's really cool. But I think all these could be potted up. Here, see, this one's perlite and vermiculite. This one's like a typical sphagnum moss, perlite, and leca. These look like they're going a little further than these, but I might have planted these at different times. I honestly am not really sure. So, but yeah, I think these are all totally ready to pot up. When you do repot these anthuriums and you've grown them in bins, you really got to keep an eye on them, keep them wet. They actually might like die off a little bit and then continue on because they're so used to this high humidity that when you take them out, they might be a little shocked. So maybe pot them up and keep them somewhere where they can still maintain a little humidity and like kind of get them used to like the regular humidity of your room. Again, this is like an opinion based on your situation, because if you buy like 3 seeds from someone for like $40, it's not like a set them out to live or die, but like I have so many and I want plants that will survive. Like my big thing with the hybridization too is I want hardy plants. I don't want fragile plants that people have to like struggle to keep alive. So like if I put out 50 seedlings and 10 just can't cut it, like sayonara. Like I would rather have plants breeding that are like can handle that lower humidity. So it's basically like survival of the fittest, evolution, whatever. I think at least in my situation it's good. In your situation, if you only have a few of them, treat them like they're precious. I mean, climatize them. Don't just like shock them into lower humidity. So I mean, that's what I shock them, but I wouldn't recommend it. What else we got? The flowers are amazing. See if we get some seeds. Oh yeah. So Ryan, I think Hoya flowers are absolutely amazing. I just can never get mine to bloom. I don't know what to do. I think maybe my lighting needs a change or something. A sawhorse. Okay, sawhorse. That's what they call it. Yes, exactly. A seahorse. Well, awesome stream, man. Got to go to sleep, but busy day tomorrow. Yeah, happy Thanksgiving. Anybody who's dropping off at any given time here, happy Thanksgiving. Have a good time. For those of you that are in the USA, at least, for everybody else, it's a regular day, like Thursday. But yeah, thanks for stopping by, John. I really appreciate it. Precious tiny babies, but I treat my pups. Yeah, I love grow lights. I mean, I couldn't grow plants without them. The way my house is situated, there's no really awesome windows to grow that I can put plants in. So the grow lights are like, I'm like a subterraneous grower, like underground. Grow lights all the way. If any of you are curious what grow lights I use primarily, I've done a lot of reviews. Most of those lights are for like devil's lettuce and when I say devil's lettuce, I hope you guys know what I mean. Like I've already said cannabis, so whatever, cannabis. But I usually just use Barina grow lights. They fit on shelves well and they're great. What do we got here? I'm starting to run out of coffee and I'm getting hoarse here. Wild Muffin, have you 3D printed many things for your plants? I wish I had everything in here. So I've done like so many prototypes. I've got some cool stuff. Mostly it was moss poles, but I shifted to, I have this new thing I've made that is, I think, really awesome. And it kind of solves an issue that I see with a lot of these things. I don't want to talk about it right now because I want it to be more of a surprise and I want to be like ready to produce it. I already went on this tangent before in this stream, but I've been working on a way for you guys to like support the channel, but actually like receive real value. Like I don't want to like sell you something that's like just not that great. You know, I'm not out there just to try and like take money. Like the thing I had planned, because I can 3D print it, I can make it cheap. There's no middlemen. I can sell it like for a good price and it like everything supports the channel. So I have so many plans for this, just not enough time. This coming year I'm gonna get to it, I promise. I've said this a million times, but the designs are ready and stuff. I just have to finalize them with like a better application. Can you do a video on plants that shingle? I can. You know, I should show you these bins. I should either live stream this or do dedicated videos or maybe both. I have some propagation bins that are just full of stuff that I've neglected for over a year. Even longer. It is such a sin. I really need to take care of them. Yeah, Mr. 8, the survival of the fittest, it's in the end, it sucks to lose some plants, but in the end, you end up with stuff that will do well in your setup, you know? Yeah, Vix, I love shinglers. They're so cool. I have a dubia, Monstera dubia, that's like growing up the wall. Not doing super well, but because it keeps falling off because it's a painted wall, but hopefully it really grips on. I've got like 2 Rhaphidophora species of shingle plant that are like in propagation because I need to get out because they're really starting to get yellow. Married, don't you? Yeah, okay. Yeah, the botanical name. That's hilarious. Nice one, Mr. Ed. Yeah, shinglers are cool. Yeah, Barina. See, Vix uses Barina too. They're pretty affordable. I mean, they are like almost $100 for 6, but they get you some pretty good coverage. They're each 4 feet long. I put 2 on a shelf, and you can, with 6, you can get, what is that, 12 feet? 12 by 3 feet. You know, that's a lot. What is that, 36 square feet with that? I mean, that's pretty solid for houseplants at least. I don't know if I did the math right. Don't quote me on it. Found your channel a couple weeks back. Glad I was able to hop in and say hi. Happy Thanksgiving. Thanks for stopping by. Have a good one. I'm excited to see what you're cooking up. Yeah, it's pretty cool, I think. Just you and your 40 best friends will know. Yeah, no kidding. And my aunt is in the channel now. Yeah, I give my aunt a lot of my plants, and she does so well with them. Like, I gave her one of those Pelia peperomiides, or I can't pronounce that one either. The like money plant, and hers like flowered and everything. Like, mine never flowered. Hers did fantastic. Yeah, see, I'm so jealous of you, Vix. You can't tell in my videos. Actually, I probably look pretty tall in my videos, but I'm only 5'9". It's just my ceiling in the basement. My ceilings are so low. I think they're like 79 inches. So it's like, what is that? About a little over 7 feet. A little over, I don't know. It's really short. It sucks. Vertical space is so important with plants, and I have like none. Yeah, so Rhaphidophora Hoya, and then I have one other one it has like white lines on it. Yeah, all right. I'm gonna get some rest first, but we have to take care of this. So let's just finish this up. We need to dump these off somewhere. The hardest part about streaming is having things you need. All right. Right here is good. We're going to do this one with sphagnum moss quick. We're just going to finish this up. Maybe we'll add some perlite. All right, so put some sphagnum moss in there. A little more. This stuff is dry. I will wet it, so I will get this wet. Yeah, I don't know if you noticed in the background, the timer went off. The grow lights just went off, so it's getting late. You could do just all perlite if you really wanted to, but we are going to just do sphagnum moss because I got some, and it's a small batch. So I just added some water, and now we just squish it around a little bit. Unplanned. Mandy, I'll have to take a look. I've seen quite a few plant YouTubers, but I don't watch a ton of it. You know, there's a lot out there, honestly, and like another thing I've noticed is there's like almost like plant tuber silos. Like, some people can be like completely unaware of like other plant tubers. Like, it's like every YouTube like shows like 6 plant tubers to one person and 6 different ones to another person. So I don't know if I've ever seen that specific channel, but I'll have to take a look because I'm curious about the lazy moss poles. All right, so I pretty much got this soaked up pretty good. Obviously way too much water in there. This is bad. So we'll dump it. Once I get stuff in these bins, I usually kind of like, I can't really do it on camera. I push and squeeze and get some of the excess water out. And then once you've pushed and squeezed it, it's like a little too compact. So try and loosen it up a bit. The whole purpose is you got to kind of get some air in there. What is this? Okay, I have a boring from Walmart back in 2016 with 3 little leaves. It's climbed up my bathroom wall, hit the ceiling, fallen down, climbed back up 4 times. Yeah, okay, that's pretty cool though. I love when plants like really take over like that. All right, so I'm just gonna dump these. Like, the problem is I'm probably adding too much water. All right, that was bad. So we'll just kind of, they'll find their way to the surface. These are gracile seeds, so these are a dime a dozen. I'm not concerned. And that's it. So I'll put the seeds in there like so. They're just, You probably can't even see half of them because they're like under there, but they'll sprout. Put a lid on them and just leave them under grow lights for like a month. The reason why I'm like not really treating these with respect is, I'll show you in a second for those of you who may have joined recently. But these are all Gracile seedlings here. So I've got a million of them. These are probably the fastest producing Anthurium I've ever seen. So they'll all sprout and do just fine, even though they're kind of buried. So I'm not worried about it. But yeah, I mean, that's if you were to do this with good seeds and you only had a few, I would make sure to set them on the top of the top layer and just lightly press so that it's surrounded, but not under. I wouldn't bury them. Just, you want them like in there so they can get wet. How many eyes do you have and 3 hands? It's been great. I was able to repot 3. Oh, awesome. So you're doing some plant chores too. That's really cool. I never even thought of that concept. We're doing plant chores together. Heck yeah. This is great. Yeah, I got almost all my seeds propped. Planted. I got a few more, but like I said, you can leave them in there for weeks, so I'm not too worried about it. Cutting off Etsy now, about 10 feet. That's so cool. 10 feet tall. That's insane. Yeah, I'm really jealous of that. That is really awesome. I'm finally, sorry, I'm like choking. I'm finally getting some big mature plants now, and I'm really excited because now that I'm not like just consuming plants, I'm focusing on what I have. They're getting pretty big. I've really neglected my Monstera though. Nice. Very cool. All right, I think that's pretty much it for this stream tonight. If I missed anybody's like comments or questions, I'm really sorry. I'm trying to keep up with the chat. I will improve this stream as time goes on. I'm gonna probably get some better equipment. Maybe Black Friday I'll have something so I can stream with a real camera, so you can actually see some of the detail. Because I can switch lenses, put a macro lens on quick, and I can control the exposure. Like this webcam, you up the brightness, but it's like the gamma is going up. It's not good. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I'll get this going. If you guys have stream topics that you want, definitely hit me up on Instagram. DMs are always open. Feel free to message me after this, whatever. I'll be up for a little while. But I really appreciate everyone showing up. It's a lot of fun to do this. This time went way better than yesterday's. So I really appreciate you guys coming out, and it was a lot of fun. Happy Thanksgiving for those of you who are in the U.S. who celebrate. Everybody else, happy Thursday or whatever day it is for you. Have a good one, and I really appreciate you guys coming out. Feel free to hit me up on Instagram or even in the comments if you want to see something in the future. I'll try and maybe do this once a week for now. We'll see where we go, but I think that is about it. How do I stop this stream? All right. Good night, guys.